Hey, look, there we are.
That's your finger.
That's my finger.
Amazing.
Hello and welcome to London. We're back together. It's been a while.
It has been a while.
You went to Russia without me?
Yeah.
How
I
was
went to
that?
Russia without you because you're not allowed for obvious security reasons.
Right, I went to Portugal without you
Yeah.
for obvious reasons. That was
too sunny.
fantastic. Villamora
I burnt.
for the 888 poker sponsored WPT Deep Stacks. That was amazing. That was an amazing trip. But we are back together here for 888 Poker's marquee event in London. It's an 1,100 pound buy-in event.
Big one.
And we're just in day one action right now. We have the one and only Kara Scott at our feature table.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
How have you been?
I've been really well.
Yeah?
Thank you. Yeah, very well.
That's good to hear.
Loving life, David, as you know I like to do. I'm excited for this poker tournament. Like you say, one of our marquee events. And 1,100 buy-in, so we'll see some good poker at this tournament, I think.
A guarantee of £500,000. We shattered that last year. I guess we'll probably do the same this year. We'll see how it goes. We've got a turbo event tomorrow. We got an all-in here from Collins. Just 6,700 in there.
It's Kara Scott.
That is Kara Scott. Radovanovic is going to call from the big blind. With pocket sevens, we've got a race right out of the gate. Hey, welcome to the broadcast, whether you're joining us on YouTube or Facebook. Nick Wealthall, David Tuckman here for 888 Poker, ace-10 versus sevens right out of the gate. There's an ace, there's a seven. And unless Collins gets really lucky, that will be it for him. Fortunately, he can re-enter.
The players enjoyed that board run out an irrational amount, I feel. Like the players that weren't in the hand, they were really into it.
Especially considering it's like level 3 of day one.
They were into it, man.
Oh, hey!
Roller coaster.
Pocket sevens hold. And we move on. So tell me all about Sochi.
Sochi is an amazing place. It's like a mini Dubai. Like they've built this huge leisure complex, sort of in the middle of nowhere, but it's beautiful because it's surrounded
kind
by.
Kind of like Las Vegas.
Yeah, it is a bit like Las Vegas. Yeah, it's less crazy.
Right.
Yeah. But maybe I went to the wrong places. Maybe there are crazy Sochi places. But it's beautiful scenery. Like you probably saw all of the mountains and all of that.
I was jealous.
And the casino's pretty amazing as well. So yeah, it was fun.
I remember this gentleman.
Yeah, you're right. From previous broadcast.
I don't think his name is Ya, but could be. Ya Yang?
Could be.
It's a good guess. Let's get a raise to 1,600. Yeah, Yang has been on the show before. He's made some deep runs in 888 live events. I want to welcome you to the broadcast. We'll stream for about 4 or 5 hours tonight.
The traditional amuse-bouche stream.
Yeah.
The warm-up stream. We can all find our feet again.
Call from Robert with pocket nines. Five high flop. Check, bet, call. King on the turn. Let's see if Yang uses the king. Get a check here from the nines. No slowdown in Yang. Let's see, Robert. Uncomfortable, does not like the king, and lets it go.
Maybe could have fought a bit harder for that. I don't know.
You can live to fight another day.
It's just one of those situations where what is he not betting? Like he's betting his entire range, isn't he, on the turn?
Although the funny thing is a lot of players will actually check back when they hit the king. Like they might actually bet king, queen on the flop or king, jack and then check back the turn.
Yeah.
occasionally. Take a look in the background there. Casino Gran Via.
Where's that, David Tuckman?
That is in Spain. More specifically, Madrid, where we will be
Why
in
is there a
late
picture
January.
of that? Oh.
Yeah, we will be in Madrid for another 888 live event in late January, early February. Make sure you join us. It'll be our first stop in Madrid for one of our marquee events. Kind of
Amazing.
excited about that one.
Yeah, for sure. A little bit of winter sunshine.
How's the weather in Madrid in the winter?
I mean, better than London.
That's not saying much.
Although, the thing about London is it's always had a great poker scene, and part of the reason is, nights like tonight, you're quite happy in the casino forever.
Right.
No one wants to step outside.
Although I was outside earlier. Did it turn?
I don't know, it's just cold, isn't it? Not for you, actually. You're like East Coast America, so...
Yeah, I mean, it's
It's
I'm
like-
saying it
it's quite
wasn't
warm for
raining
you.
today.
It wasn't raining today.
So, how about the dragon? What do we know about this dragon behind us? That looks pretty exciting there. The brand new monthly high roller tournament on 888. It's a $1,050 buy-in with a $200,000 guarantee. The next one is on December 22nd. You can satellite in there for just 50 cents over at 888 Poker. Take a look at our chip counts. Kara Scott on 30,300 chips. Players started with 30,000 chips. Did she late reg for this?
Kara Scott?
No.
No, I don't think so.
No.
She was just at the 888 party.
Oh, so she a little bit...
Sharpening her skills with a... Obviously, just a still water.
She wasn't drinking. Definitely not, right?
No.
Professional like
good.
that would never drink before a poker tournament, right?
Good God. Can you imagine?
Nick Wealthall, David Zuckman here. Thanks for joining us. It'll be 3 days of silliness here in London for 888. Davey raising it up to 1,500. We have a 123-page production book in front of us that we will get through over the next 3 days. 6 deuce flop. If you're going to defend with ace-6 with the ace of diamonds, this is not a bad flop.
Yeah, I mean, it's crushing flop, isn't it?
See if Davey wants to take a shot at it here. I'd be surprised if one bet got through, but you never know.
I mean, yeah. Easy call, right?
I would assume so.
Probably you're already viral, mate. I know.
Diamond's got there. That's the kind of quality analysis I'll be providing for you throughout the weekend.
You're not the best for nothing.
That's right. Sui says the nuts, and when it goes check on the river, he's basically correct.
So all sorts of goodness coming up here, as we mentioned, the 888 Live Madrid Festival starting. That's January 23rd to February 3rd. A €1 million guarantee for that one. The main event, by the way, is January 30th. That is an €888 buy-in event. And that'll be our first 888 Poker Live event of 2020.
Look at this pro. This is 888 boss.
It's a donkey. Yes, donkey. Because I dunked on chips for this one with top 7.
Of course, if you want to join the conversation, you can by tweeting us at Nick Wealthall, at Tuck On Sports. You can use the hashtag 888live. Win picks up aces. Win wearing the white 888 poker hat. She raises to 1,300.
Oh, it's depressing when they all fold, isn't it?
Let's get a little action here. Man, 10 years ago, she used to have 5 callers.
That's right.
Oh,
Yeah, this is not.
is it
good.
more depressing when your opponent flops top set
That's
against
definitely
you?
more depressing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And his hand is going to be really disguised here as well.
Yeah. I mean, 7-6 suited is a hand that he might call from the small blind with. Maybe 4-5 suited. Obviously, the pairs, but she is in a world of hurt. Really very little reason for her to slow down, but she does check. Uncanny, and maybe this saves her. Well, if he just bets like...
How much would you bet here, Dave?
I was going to say, well, I mean, it doesn't look like she has much, right?
Doesn't it look like she has a pocket pair less than the king?
That's what I mean. It just doesn't look like she has a huge hand here. So, I mean, I might bet, I don't know, maybe 3,400.
5,800.
He's gone bigger than that. And we can see he's going to get paid.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Obviously. But
Hey, give her credit. She lost the absolute minimum.
Wow. Guess what I thought was great?
that's so boring, isn't it? For Nguyen. You
Yeah.
really have to sit there a lot of hours to get aces in a live tournament, and then don't do that to me.
Give her credit. I'm almost definitely going broke on that one because I'm probably betting the turn.
I would be betting the turn, yeah. Not least because he seems like an aware opponent, and you know it's a bluffing card, and like, you know, if he's got a pocket pair.
Well, we just saw players, try to use, the big paint card as a bluffing card.
Yeah.
So when you actually have it, you kind of want to bet it too.
Yeah, for sure. We have a shot clock, worth mentioning.
Love the shot clock.
Not everybody has a shot clock.
No, I love this thing. Each player has 30 seconds to act on their hands. What if they need more time than that, though, Nick?
Well, they're going to use one of their time bank cards that they have a finite amount of. You can see in front of the player in shot there, the rectangular cards. Toss one of those bad boys out for an extension. They get more at various points in the tournament. So you can have a think when you need one. So he's just going to get a playable hand every deal, it seems like, every hand.
It's going to make the game much easier for him.
Or quicker. That's the two ways it goes, right? Probably going to 3-bet here.
Raise 5,400.
A sturdy 3-bet. So it was all in, but it's only for 4.7.
And because of that, Sam can actually call
Yeah, I was
this.
just gonna he can't be re-raised, right?
He cannot be re-raised, no. The all-in is actually for less than Sue's 3-bet.
And when he folds there, you sort of wonder if he knew that. Maybe he didn't know that. Because why on earth would you fold? That's...
Yeah, possibly. I mean,
Well, it's only another, whatever it is, 2-3K to try and flop a set.
you're getting you're getting about 6 to 1 in actual odds. Forget about implied odds.
Yeah.
And boom, there's the 8 on the turn. The other reason to call in that particular spot, and there's a queen, by the way, and Sohor is actually going to pretty much triple up.
Sam's just going to be kicking himself. I mean, that's, if you're watching this stream, you're looking for little tidbits of things to learn, whatever, that's something you need to know. Right? You need to know that you can't be re-raised there. And, not only that, there's going to be a dry side pot. You're probably going to see a board run out.
That's the interesting point you just brought up there. So as we look at a chip count here, there's kind of two thoughts here. Number one, you're up against a 3-bet and then a call essentially of that 3-bet all in. So you would imagine that 8s are behind. The problem is you're getting 6 to 1, and as you pointed out, with a dry side pot, it's very unlikely that you're going to get bluffed out of that pot. You're going to see a run out unless you're way behind.
Yeah, if you get bet into, you're almost certainly losing. Here comes the K-Dog.
K-Dog.
Yeah, I call her that. No one else does.
Little pet name.
Little pet name.
You and Kara close, right?
Close. She was the vicar at my wedding, yeah. Yeah, we're quite close. Yeah, I am biased in this commentary. I won't criticise anything she does.
Anything. Look at the way she waves.
Do you want to hear something funny? I'm pretty sure that was at me, actually. As I
Was it?
half an hour ago, yeah. Just getting 3-bet. Why are they 3-betting the K-Dog? This ends in failure.
Yeah, and this is a pretty aggressive 3-bet from Davey.
Very.
This is an under-the-gun open from Kara. And Davey out of the small blind with 9-8 suited, 3-betting her. Fairly aggressive. It's going to work in this particular spot. And you would assume that he's pretty strong in that spot.
Yeah, definitely. Nice play from him.
Good to see Kara Scott back on the tournament circuit. Obviously, she took a lot of time off for maternity leave, but she is back. See the blinds in the top center of your screen, 300, 600. Of course, we are playing with the big blind ante. So it's 1,500 to play in orbit. Bottom left corner of your screen, you'll see all the pertinent graphics you might need. How deep the players are, what position they're in, so forth and so on. Prize pool last year in this thing, I want to say, was about 700,000.
I remember it being big.
This is a great tournament. Every year I come here and I kind of think, I really want to play in this one in particular. Congratulations to our own Chris Moorman, 888 Poker Ambassador, for winning the High Roller. He won the High Roller here just a couple of days ago.
He was telling me he had a very noisy rail. I was just talking to him. But like 90% of the noise was his partner, who was
shocking,
who was drinking while he ploughed his way through the high roller field.
That's so weird.
She was going crazy from the rail. He said, like, calm down, love. It's not, it's not the world title. Nice win for him, though. And he was second in Portugal. I think that's right.
Yeah, he's been knocking on the door.
So he's pretty good at tournament poker.
Yeah, he might have a future in this thing.
Yeah.
Funny thing is, I bumped into her at the 888 meet and greet, and she said to me that earlier this year, 2019, Chris came to her and said that he had a premonition that this was going to be his worst year. And meanwhile, he's done nothing but crush.
Might still be his worst year. I mean, he's won an enormous amount of money.
Right. He's only up 6.1 million this year.
Yeah, it's been a shocker. I haven't won a tournament for days now. He's still in the main event as well.
I mean, registration is still open. I would assume that everybody, all the ambassadors, if they did not advance through to day 2, they would enter again. You can, I believe there's a turbo event tonight.
Yes, there is.
That is starting momentarily.
There's also a PLO tournament if you want to play that.
Ah. The 4-card game.
That's right. It's all going off here at Aspers. Nguyen is not going to win money here, despite having a monstrous hand. Well, he's going to win some money, but not too much.
Now, this is a flop that, well, what do you know?
Nothing.
You know nothing.
Nothing.
Oh.
See, diamonds. See, she's not going to win a lot of money because she's going to get
right.
She's going to get busted on the
Donovich,
river.
by the way, is really no reason to slow down if you're a win. Your opponent never has ace-king. You have the nuts here. And by the way, if he has an ace, cool. If he has a king, even better.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great spot, isn't it? It's button versus big blind. If he's got an ace, you might very well get 3 streets, even though it's a paired board, just because...
You kind of have to put him on that, too, right? I mean, he check-called the flop. What with?
Backdoor diamonds.
Backdoor diamonds, backdoor straight
Oh,
draw.
did he
possibilities.
raise? Oh, that's a cool play. Quite like that play. Like a really good chance he gets her off a bad ace here.
I hate this play.
Why?
Because she's
you
not
can see
betting.
Because
she's
you can
not-
see the cards.
No, because she's not betting the ace on the turn, and
I
it's a
mean-
range advantage thing. It's a button open and a big blind. What hand is he repping here? What is he saying?
Why can't he have a king?
Okay, but then she can have a bigger
Why
king.
can't he have a...
He can have a king, and then she's never folding it, though. She's also not betting an ace on the
You
turn,
just don't
though.
understand how cool check raising is.
Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, you want to make a note of it.
I just don't think she's betting the ace. We just saw how she played aces. I don't think she's betting the
Yeah,
ace.
but he didn't. He didn't see how she... Oh, he did see how she played aces. That's also true. My bad. He did see that was shown down, wasn't it?
Bet.
Oh, yeah, I think she's going to bet. I won't worry about that. I feel like she knows that.
Put money in the pot. Rodanovich has somehow figured out a way to lose chips in this pot. Calling pre-flop seemed really standard. Despite the fact that my cohort here liked the check raise on the turn.
Yeah, it was fun.
It
What's
was
wrong
fun.
with you?
Sorry, my bad. Welcome to 888 Live in London. We are in East London at Asper's Casino. Nick Wealthall, David Tuckman here. And we will be here for 3 glorious days of poker.
Lucky chips, yeah?
Big range at our feature table.
He's not against.
A couple of huge stacks, as you can see. No, the super short stack. So, although we say this is the amuse bouche, if you like post-flop play, you will probably see some tonight.
Sponsored by you, yeah?
Bit of poker, bit of, you know,
Yeah, late day 1, day 2 action is a lot of fun.
it is for sure. And you get international poker celebrity Kara Scott.
Right. And Yang.
Just thrown in, complimentary.
I thought it's 3,000.
Bro, listen, if you can't
But there's
see that,
more.
take the shades off. Yeah? Always works.
I thought it's 3,000.
Yang kind of mixing it up a little bit here.
He's saying he meant to raise. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what that means. I'm not clever enough
If
to
he-
know whether he meant to raise.
Actually meant to raise. I would imagine at this point of the tournament,
Yeah, I know.
as deep as these players are, I would be surprised if he had a limping range at this point.
Softly.
Kara's just going to not believe him.
Surprised.
I wasn't expecting to hear Italian at the table.
Why are you surprised? Look, Kingsley from Hackney can't speak Italian.
Or believe him and just say, you know what, let's play a bigger pot nonetheless.
You got to love the old school Barry Greenstein squeeze from the blind raise from Kara.
Came from left field, yeah? Maybe more surprises, don't worry.
Brackets. I am biased in my commentary. Close brackets.
You keep folding to me, you'll be alright.
You've been very clear on that.
Yeah, full disclosure at all times.
Every dog's got willing, eh?
I'll try to keep it real. Win comes along for the ride as well. Ace, Jack, 5. Pair of jacks are the best hand right now.
Kara's last.
Kara is last to act, as you can see. Button.
You got to bet though. You have.
Yeah,
Like, you got to bet. I mean,
not disputing it. I don't think the bet gets through, but...
no,
Like-
well, probably not, but
And that's, of course, the issue. It's, yeah, you can rep the biggest hand here because you raise pre-flop. How likely is your bet going to get through 2 players? I would imagine fairly unlikely. I mean, you'd have to almost be up against, like, pocket 8s and pocket 6s.
Using nice hat, and I was like,
Yang picks up a straight draw to go along with his pair of jacks.
yeah, now Kara's going to have to shut it down.
She's not going to get the chance. Yang's going to lead out. The old check call lead out play by Yang.
I mean, that obviously saves her a decision as to whether to keep burrowing into this hole of despair.
See that later on TV.
And the chip leader gets chipper.
No, my boy.
See what I did there? Instead of the rich getting richer, the chip leader gets chipper.
I'm just getting on him.
We'll see if it catches on.
Yeah, I came up with that on the way here.
It might go viral.
He owes me some
That's what I was hoping for.
Well, we'll see. We'll check at the end of the night, see if it's been picked up.
Players started with 30,000 chips. All sorts of good things going on here at 888 Poker. We talked about the Live Madrid Festival starting January 23rd. The main event, January 30th. That is a 800,000 guarantee main event. We mentioned the Dragon, the brand new monthly high roller tournament with a 200,000 guarantee. We didn't talk about the Blast sit and go.
What is the blast sitting?
Oh, it's an exciting sit and go game where you could win big. 3 to 4 players are in for a fun surprise as they compete for a randomly drawn prize pool in a time-limited Blast sit and go for a prize pool, which could be up to 10,000 times your buy-in. 10,000 times your buy-in.
Shut the front door.
Yeah.
If she says she's got aces, I'll believe her.
Actually, you know what? Later, you can switch with your sister. No one will realize.
I'll know. I'll notice. I will know.
It's a friendly table.
It is.
Nice to see.
How old are you guys?
I want to get the lowdown on this Yang guy. I have a feeling that he just crushes this particular tournament every year.
Bro, she hates that.
Did you look him up? Do you want me to look him up?
I'm sorry, maybe because yesterday you have.
Yeah, we can have a research team on that.
Yeah, I've got my phone and it's got a search function.
You could do that, yeah.
It's got a search function.
That'd be great.
Think we're on it.
I think it's coming to me. Keep going.
So a raise from Davey into the gun +2. Sam calls on the button. Robert considering what to do in the small blind, and it looks like he wants to 3-bet this. But he just calls. Yang now in the big blind. A lot of good players love defending their big blind against that many opponents, though. He might just choose to let it go, and he does.
I don't want to see the flop, and I had some joy, and I feel bad I call,
3 ways to the flop. Pot is 5,700. Yang, by the way, had 8-4 of hearts.
See, when you're running like he's running, you've got to know.
Yeah.
You've got to know it's coming.
What are you doing? It was 8-4 suited, too. I mean, what are you thinking? Davey was the original raiser. And the texture of this board, I thought the hand might just be over, but Sam is going to come along. Robert gets out of the way. Some backdoor straight equity, backdoor flush equity.
God loves an optimist.
Davey checks. Now Sam's going to try to bluff at it.
3,500 bet.
So a little float here with the ace-9. Seeing if maybe he could just take it away on the turn. Unfortunately for him, Davey actually has something.
Yeah, Sam's wrapping what Davey's got. It's never a good situation.
Sam's not shutting down, though.
Bet 6,500.
I think Davey kind of was hoping that this would go check on the river. I just don't think Sam's bet is large enough. If he had bet maybe 15 into 17. That puts a lot of pressure on a pair of queens.
It's just not much for Davey to be scared of, is there? I mean, sets, I suppose.
Set. Pocket sevens. As you said, 7-5 suited. Ace queen. I mean, I'll put it this way. Is Sam value betting a hand the worst at this point?
And what is weird about this is that there's no bluffs.
Right.
But there is a bluff. But they're-
You know what I thought?
it's just weird, right? I mean, he did call.
That's the thing. There are no bluffs. So if he sizes his bluff a little larger, it almost definitely works.
Yeah. I mean, Davey has a very strong hand, obviously, but
Sometimes, if you call and then you draw and then you go back, you call and then you miss, the feeling is, it's horrible,
just to explain, when I say there's no bluffs, it's hard to construct a range of hands that he would have called with on the flop that would then be good bluffing candidates later on. It's hard, unless you've played with someone before, it's hard to figure that they'd be calling on the flop with ace-9 and then bluffing later on.
Clearly, we got to be thinking outside the box.
Yeah. I mean, you will see some moves today and tomorrow in this tournament, because ever since I started playing poker in London in live rooms, London players love bluffing. If it's a local player, you have to give them a... Did you find this when you were here?
Yeah, no, for sure.
It's a bluffy kind of game, usually.
Yeah, I always kind of... You factor in, like, well, these bluffs make sense, and then I kind of throw an extra, like, 3 to 6% of just, like, okay, the bluffs that make no sense whatsoever, that just spaz offs.
British player premium.
Do you ever put any extra kind of bluff premium into the fact that players are playing on a stream? Do you think maybe there's just an extra 2%? Like, oh, I want to look cool on the stream.
I hadn't really thought about it, but I think you should, yeah.
I would venture a guess that it's probably...
Players are going to go one of two ways, aren't they? So you've got to think about what is this person's personality, and Sam's been quite, gregarious, chatty, whatever. So you might definitely put him in the wants to make a splash on the screen, on the stream.
I think you're spot on, though. I mean, I think the players probably go in one of two different ways. Like, there are probably some players that play their exact same game on stream. And then there are probably some players that really don't want to look stupid on the stream.
Right.
So they don't think outside the box. They don't bluff. They don't make big calls. They just kind of play their ABC game. And then there are probably players who really want to look great. So they'll make that hero call, or they'll make the fancy bluff. We are in Asper's Casino in East London. Nick Wealthall alongside me. The last time Nick and I were sitting next to each other was Barcelona. Been too long.
Yeah, that's May, right? Back when I had all my own hair.
Looks great.
Yeah, plugs they're just amazing. They've taken really nicely, which is good. A relief.
Can I have your guy?
I'll give him.
Thank you.
I'll give you his deets.
Raise here from Yang on the button to 3,000. I'm sizing that raise, by the way. Yang just mixing it up a little bit. He goes, I'm going to go 5x here.
It's just a big bully, isn't he? Big bully. Sitting on 102,000 chippage. That is good going.
That man right there wearing the boss hat, but Yang has been the boss. Casino Gran Via, January 23rd to February 3rd.
Can't believe you
live
didn't go
Madrid.
for the. But who will be the boss in Madrid? That was you set yourself up, and then. But who will be the boss in Madrid?
You know what? That was good.
Yeah.
Oh, I dropped the ball.
I know.
Oh, it's stupid.
Sorry, do it tomorrow, because they won't.
Oh, this is a warm up.
They remember this is the. This is like the pre-stream.
Nobody's
stream.
watching this now, right?
And those that are will excuse you. It's the hardcore. Kara's got the 5s here. I think she can just fold, but she's not going to.
Is that criticism?
No, whatever she does is correct.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's obviously it can't be wrong to play them, but with her stack and with like the big stacks still to act, it's also totally fine to just throw them away.
Yeah, earlier on she played the 5 under the gun, but she had 30,000 chips.
She's got that horrible stack, like 30-something big blinds as well, where, you know, it's easy to get into difficult situations.
Yeah, the small pairs have kind of not been kind to her so far. And here again, not going to work out for her.
Bingo for Davey.
Yeah, Davey with the straight. Sam with the over. Sam did not 3-bet this, by the way. Oh, and look at that. What a turn card. Not only is it the queen, but it's the queen of clubs.
Amazing turn card.
And I got to tell you, if you're Davey, you still think you got the best hand because,
For sure.
I mean, how do you put your opponent on ace-king when he didn't 3-bet pre?
Yep.
3,600 bet.
I mean, Kara is the player who is more likely to have the ace-king. Sam hand is so under-repped.
Yeah, so you, he doesn't have chips. That's a shame. That would have been a really interesting situation. Here, Davey's just going to call and...
Yeah. And he's not drawing dead.
Nope.
Why don't he have a draw?
7 outs here, looking for a club. That is not a club. Deuce of hearts on the river.
That's a great tip, isn't it? When you get short stacked in live tournaments, try and get a cooler. That's like
Right.
a really good strategy for getting back in the event.
Another good tip, by the way. Did you see that board? That's not a good board for pocket fives.
Definitely. Just, you run that out to Kara and tell her for...
Just let her know.
Yeah, she'll appreciate it. When you bring it in with pocket fives...
And that's the problem. I mean, those, like, you know, pocket fives, pocket fours, really tough hand to play profitably in a poker tournament when you're only, you know, 30, 40 big blinds deep.
And I was just thinking about the table, really. It's quite a loose table. There's big stacks behind. Like, she can't make a raise.
I mean, it's only ace high, no?
That people, you know, she's going to get flattered a lot of the time. There will be completely different tables in this tournament where she should absolutely open pocket fives off 30 or big blinds. You know, which tables that are playing tight or whatever, but...
Cara raising 5 deuce, yeah?
Sam back to his smiling ways. After his ace-king makes Broadway and he doubles up.
Raise 1,700. Pass.
Another relatively large raise size, almost 3x on the button. 1,700. Win makes the call.
Check.
What part of that club have you got exactly for you to make?
3,000 bet.
Well, can you show me what card can I pick? I want to pick the left and the right.
I want 2 of them.
What's that?
Oh, no.
9, 10.
For you.
When did you fly in?
Flew in
This one, it ain't even paid, you know.
by car
Not even paid.
about an hour ago.
I think it's 9. It's 9.
When did you fly in?
Earlier today.
Yeah. Happy belated Thanksgiving to you and all of our American friends.
Yes, happy Thanksgiving to all the Americans out there. That's actually why I came in today. Normally I would come in a day or two earlier, play some poker, acclimate myself to the
I was
area,
going to say, if she got bottom pair,
but there were turkeys to kill.
Things to be thankful for. You have to do some thankfulness.
Yeah, giblets to chomp on.
look at this hand. angelic face. How could I ever lie?
Of course, a lot to be thankful for.
My dad's
Now,
different.
Thanksgiving is actually my favorite holiday. I feel bad for the rest of the world because you don't have
Don't
it.
have it.
It's
Don't
such
have
a
it at
good
all.
holiday.
Yeah.
Just don't tell them I'm here.
I mean, think of a holiday where you have sports, endless amounts of really, really good food, but no pressure to go out and like buy presents for anybody. All you have to do is just wake up and eat and just hang out with friends and family.
That
and
is
then
a good
sleep
recipe.
and then nap.
Yeah, that's a good recipe.
And then wake up and eat a second portion. Oh, and during that entire time in the background, there's sports playing on TV.
Nice. And also, I like that it's one day. That's good.
Yeah, spread it over like 14
You're in,
days.
you're in, you're out.
This guy.
Right. Because by the end of the day, you're like, okay, that's good. Mom, see you. I'll see you next year.
Yeah.
Mom, it's over. Bye.
Great to touch base with you,
Yeah.
loved ones.
I'm so thankful that you're my mother. Bye-bye,
yeah.
Mom.
Bye-bye. See you in a year.
You don't want Samuel Nice guy, I'm going to double you up. No, I had to sweat. Yeah, try absolutely.
The new 888 Poker, the Dragon, we talked about that. That is the brand new monthly high roller tournament. Next one will be on December 22nd. Guarantee of 200,000.
Of course I took a free card. Why would I take a free card?
No, I'm just asking.
Yeah, we're playing absolute GG, stone cold. Poker.
I mean, the United States has some dumb holidays, as does the rest of the world, but Thanksgiving is not one of them.
Well, what's happened in my lifetime is that we've inherited Halloween from you. Because when I was a kid, there was nothing here. We
Right.
didn't even know it was... Honestly, we didn't even know it was Halloween, let alone a thing. Now, I've got 100 kids coming to my house. Which I actually quite
Do
like.
you bat them away? I imagine you just get off my lawn.
I actually quite like. I quite
Oh, you
like
do?
it. Yeah, I like it. It's the other way. I find them hilarious. I like the little ones when they're all dressed up and they don't really know what they're doing. They're funny. But yeah, now it's like full on Halloween. But we haven't inherited Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
which
we go
seems
all
silly.
out on that. I was fortunate enough to cover the World Series of Poker Europe, working with Poker Go, and then I was in Vegas for that, and our last day of filming was on Halloween. So we filmed, we broadcast that day, then I was able to fly home right away and join in the Halloween festivities. Jack 10-6 Rainbow Flop, nothing there for either player. Ace High is the best hand right now. Rodanovich in the big blind. Let's see if he takes a shot at it. Tries to put some pressure on an ace high type hand.
That's outrageous.
That's a rock that.
We're a friend, we always joke like that.
Mate,
No, what do you mean? No, no. I just realised what you said.
he's going to buy
I really think Rodanovich should be betting this.
Let's hope it doesn't come to that.
Probably.
If it does, I'll take that.
Ask him for the money first.
It's not always going to get through. I just don't think King High has enough showdown value. Easy for me, obviously, as I can see the cards.
That's a good point, though. Nicely made.
Why, thank you, Nick.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Just because I know I would have got involved.
You're wasting you so much money.
There's a €1 million guarantee on the Madrid event
Yeah, that's
in
pretty
2
amazing.
months' time.
The main event's actually 800,000
Oh yeah, yeah.
alone,
okay. Yeah,
just the one
wow.
event.
Wow. That's going to be cool.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty excited. 888 already has a marquee event in Barcelona every May, end of May. And now to go to Madrid at the end of January, I think is pretty cool.
I feel like the Barcelona event has gone so well for us. Like, we get so many Spanish players that it's a good idea having another one.
Sochi, of course, Bucharest always seems to be on the calendar. Portugal was fantastic this year. I will tell you, Villamora. Have you been?
I'll take a walk, mate.
No.
Oh, it's stunning.
Yeah.
I still haven't been to Malta, so don't.
Wasn't invited.
It was a quick event, but gorgeous. The hotel right on the beach.
Yeah.
I strongly recommend anybody, if you are looking for a poker vacation, so many places you could go to, whether it be Madrid, Barcelona. I always talk about all those places. Villamora was my first time there, and I was not disappointed. 8-3 deuce here. This is an action flop here. Top pair for Sam in the big blind, and a straight flush draw for Adanovich.
Yeah, absolutely monstrous flop for Adanovich.
You can see that he's actually a dog.
Yeah. Yeah, blind versus blind. He's pretty unlucky to be behind.
Raise
Wow.
all in and a quick
And
call.
quick call.
And Sam a 3-2 favorite.
I mean, it's a huge cooler, really.
Yeah. Well, man, you can't really fault either player.
Shut
I
up
mean,
about Ace 4's getting it.
No, he said it. He said
Who is this guy? Black picture.
Queen of Hearts, a blank there.
Black picture.
And Sam's pair of 8s hold up.
Send it.
Send it.
yeah, I think he got more chips.
All right, count that out for Donovich.
Cheers, mate.
Out the door. Look at him. You think he's messing with boys?
He's loving it. He's loving life.
It's like he always.
His sweatshirt says golf and beer, and what that means is he likes watching golf while drinking a beer.
Sure, it's not playing golf while he's drinking beer.
Could also be that.
Mate, we're not ready.
There's that great golf video game that I love. You ever play Golden Tee?
No.
Oh, that is the one of the world's greatest video games.
Got it, you got it. Good luck.
Golden Tee. Give me a shout out, anybody out there who knows Golden Tee.
On what,
Tweet me at Tuck on Sports.
What format?
It's like an arcade video game.
Oh, it's an arcade game.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Old school.
Oh, maybe
But they're
I
in a
played-
lot of bars.
Oh, maybe I played it then. Actually.
It's like you roll.
Oh yeah, I played it. Of course. Yeah,
Great
I played
game.
that. I didn't know what it was called.
Yeah, Golden Tee.
Yeah, you give it that, don't you?
You drink a lot of beer and you play that game.
Yeah, awesome. That's exactly what Sam's talking
Oh,
about.
he might be a pro.
Every time we tell this story, the stat goes up.
I never heard this. No, I never heard this.
And what happened?
It was 150 the first time I
How
heard
have you lost?
I heard 200.
it. Goes up with every telling.
How have you lost? No,
It'd be a million chips.
not yesterday. Day 1B.
I play 1C as well, mate. I play so much bullet.
Yeah?
He needs to win the tournament to break even.
Mate, he won't be the only one either. Look
Pocket
at
jacks
this.
here for Zohor. Blinds are up now, as you can see. 400, 800 with an 800 big blind ante, which means Kara Scott is now down to about 23 big blinds.
It's bad. Not what we were hoping for.
Hail. Hail. Is there any chance of getting the clock up here? Can we get the clock? Oh. Yeah. There is a clock, yeah, hiding behind there.
I mean, she can re-enter.
Thank you. And a bottle of water.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, don't. She's not dead yet.
No, she's not.
I can't say anything at all. Oh, 5-8.
It's like a pretty good flop for jacks with a
Check.
club.
Yeah, only one overcard. You block the straight draws. I think he can certainly decide to bet this or check it. He decides to bet it. He bets 3,700. And you imagine the hand will be over. No, it's not. Sam calls. Sam looking for a jack. Sam now drawing dead. Let's see if Sam wants to bluff at it, because turn card being an 8 is kind of a good bluffy card. And Sam decides not to. I mean, he can rep the queen, he can rep an 8, he can rep clubs, he has the 9 of clubs in his hand.
Yeah, he definitely could have taken a stab.
I don't think it would. I don't know if it would have worked or not. Who knows?
Ah, if the flush comes, then I'll pay off any bet. If it comes to 7, you're under.
Tweets are pouring in. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
If it comes to another jack,
Frank Steinberg says, I've got an hour to make it to Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Is there a game today?
What am I beating there now?
No,
Oh,
they had one.
they had one earlier today.
Yeah, you got an hour to get into your time machine and go back to 3 o'clock this afternoon.
They win.
They did win. Yeah,
How's Liverpool this year?
crushing. destroying? Do you not know?
You got proof.
I,
You can't.
of course I know. I was just trying to tee you up,
Yeah.
make you feel better.
Well, yeah, we're having a good time.
Really, really well. Oh, that's good to know.
It's odd being a Liverpool fan with the league because it's been 30 years and it's gone wrong many times from good positions. So,
Didn't they win last year the Champions League?
Champions League.
Yeah, so I don't think you can be upset anymore, right?
No, I mean, I'm never that upset. Kara's got a hand.
A little min raise here. Should probably get action here from Yang.
Our table chip leader.
It's 10 minutes in.
What did we start? We started on
60. 64.
Oh, we just changed that.
It's just changed to 4-8 10 minutes ago. When this guy came to
So Kara actually only has, as one of the players points out, we've gone up to 400, 800. So Kara only has 20 big blinds
Right.
back here.
10 high flop. And this is where things get a little bit precarious. You know, obviously you're not going to flop a pair very often. And when you don't, how do you proceed when you don't have a big stack?
That's very kind of you.
No, you can't. It's just playing a raise.
22.
C-bet here from Kara. Scott gets through.
The recovery begins.
And the first hand we've seen her win. It's been a dry spell.
She's just been luring people into a false sense of security. Don't worry about it.
The grand hand snap. What is that? You can play snap on 888 poker. Minimum stakes, 2 cent, 5 cent. This is right up your alley, Nick. Win with the hand.
Thank you.
Win with the hand of the day. Scratch your grand hand, scratch card, and win up to $1,000. When, you ask? Is that what you asked me?
I said when.
Yeah.
Yeah, when.
Now and every day
Oh.
at 19:30 GMT until Christmas.
So you've got to be playing at 7:30. Is that right?
That's what it looks like now and every day at 7:30 GMT. And the minimum stakes are just 2 cents, 5 cents,
Right.
and you can win up to $1,000.
Nice. So this is just
Talk about
like,
a
this is
bankroll
like
builder.
A freebie. This is like a free bonus.
Basically all of these promos we've been talking about are essentially just 888 poker giving money away.
Don't say my flat because then
A lovely bunch of lads. Got an interesting situation
might get
here.
into trouble, but you know.
Yang in the small blinds, as you can see, under the gun, but only has 20-something big blinds, so I guess Yang might just set him in. I don't know. Don't know what he'll do. Oh, he's got a little more than 20, sorry. He's got 25, 28, something like that.
He's using one of his time extension cards. Wants to think this one over just a little bit longer. I would assume there's a 3-bet, and I would assume the chips are going in, but maybe he respects the under the gun open. He's using a lot of these time cards, though.
I think he's just trying to work out how to play it with the stacks. I guess.
Another thing sometimes you and I think our audience take for granted or assume, we don't know. These players might have a lot more knowledge about each other than we do.
I mean, several of these players definitely know each other.
Right.
Two or three of them definitely played together in London.
So you wonder if Yang has, some information about Zohor and knows that he's not opening under the gun light here.
I don't quite understand why he's used 3 time bank cards.
It seems like a little bit much.
Seems like not good for his future self, where he might have a legitimately huge decision.
He's just really confident.
That this is the biggest decision he'll be facing today.
Exactly.
Fair enough.
Here comes the 3-bet, though. All that. And he has stepped in it.
Nope.
Good to know.
And this is now some Hollywood.
It's a bit tricky, yeah? Maybe I'm bluffing, maybe I have a strong hand. I use all my time back.
Yeah. You got strong hand.
Maybe no, maybe I bluff.
Maybe you bluff.
A lot of talking going on here.
I
He just called. Pot now 11,400.
Oh, yeah.
Yango all in dark. No, he settled it, I think.
No.
It's a great. Yeah, he did go all in. Yeah.
Aces. Aces for a second.
Look at this.
We actually had hand.
Wow.
Well, a good flop for Yang here. Looking for a jack and only a jack. I was really intrigued to see what happens if like an ace had fallen. I was like, was Zahor gonna fold?
Dwelling up, I'm thinking, what's he doing?
I wonder you can't have an ace.
Bad table move, is it?
I mean,
Oh, I didn't need a table change.
yeah, could have been catastrophic.
I was wondering.
The
I know he's not doing this lightly. I
dwell was weird. The thinking was a bit weird.
Yeah. Everything about that hand was kind of weird, but the result was pretty much exactly how we thought it would be. Chips went in, and a big double up for Zahor with his kings.
Actually, I played them nice. I played them nice. I wonder you call. I mean, you can have
Take a look at our chip count here. Yang back down to 78,000, under 100 big blinds.
you need your four kings.
Kara Scott back up to 26 big blinds. Robert, our short stack, with just 15 big blinds. Blinds are 400, 800. Nick Wealthall, David Tuckman here. This wonderful festival in London started November 21st. It will finish in 2 days on December 2nd,
see a king, I feel better about sticking.
where we will crown a champion.
I mean, when I see the flop, okay, I like the flop. You know, I don't want to see that.
I don't know, man. I don't think I can fold because I'm so short. But I didn't know what he was doing.
Okay, first place, over under 81,000 pounds.
Oh, I'm bad at this.
I'm thinking he's got aces.
It's a good line
I had an ace
that you just plucked from thin air.
And then you raised me something.
I don't even know what the guarantee would be.
I didn't like
The guarantee is 500.
Right,
I can't fold.
over. Just because I want it to be over, so I want a bigger prize.
Would offer you my hoodie.
That is not a scientific prediction.
No, please don't be horrible.
Alright, maybe one person wants.
You wouldn't advise your followers to bet on it.
No, I would not. I would not advise my followers to bet on anything I say.
Only playing aces or kings now.
Do you bet on things a lot?
It comes out so much.
On TV now,
No.
people
Do you bet on football?
You know I bet on the NFL.
I know, but do you bet on your football?
No, I don't. I never bet on football.
Terrible
Really?
shot
No.
when I blind all in.
I do not.
Was it blind all in?
I blind
We mentioned the Dragon, of course, the new 888 Poker High Roller Tournament. Next one is on December 22nd. Satellites starting at just 50 cents now on 888 Poker.
Thank you, Matt.
Good.
Thank
We
you.
need
Thank
the
you, Matt.
cards much better. Thank you.
But betting on the NFL is incredible.
Incredible.
Yeah, it's just so exciting.
Well, it's the only way to make the game exciting.
That plus red zone. Like that.
I mean, honestly, if it wasn't for fantasy sports and sports betting, I don't know how anybody watches the NFL anymore. It's almost
I
unwatchable.
think it's that bad.
I'll put it this way. Whenever I make that argument, somebody points out there's one great game, and I go, you know what, you're right. There's always, like, one really amazing game. But for every one really amazing game, there's, like, 3 or 4 that are just, like, sleep-inducing, just doze fests. I don't know.
But you think it's got worse, or do you think it was always bad? But
I think it's gotten worse. I think it's just incredibly. I don't know. Maybe I'm older now and just I don't care as much. I don't know. Maybe I've finally given up on the fact that my team just stinks, and I can't deal with it anymore. I don't know.
I think you are prejudiced by
The fact that my team stinks
Yeah.
year after year after year.
Yeah, I hated football when my team stunk.
Maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. Win picks up Queen 10 of Hearts. I just noticed that if I don't have a fantasy player involved and I haven't put a sports bet on the game, I just noticed that more often than not, I'm sleeping on the couch when the game's on, while I'm quote-unquote watching.
I mean, I just watch Red Zone. I find it hard to watch one game unless it's a Super Bowl.
Doesn't that say a lot, though?
Yeah.
The fact that you can't watch one game.
But it mostly says that I've scrambled my brain into being a ridiculously short attention span in everything. That's the problem.
That's what you're after, mate. You better go somewhere else.
It's like a friend sends a video, and the video is like 41 seconds. You're like, 41 seconds? Come on, man. This is too long.
What's the punchline?
2 goals on the end. Nah.
Yeah. That's true. Chara's always like that. Can't keep her quiet.
It's true. Well known.
We're all aware of that.
So you get a raise here and a call from Davey. 9 high flop, queen 10 still in the lead. Definitely a dry flop, meaning not many draws there at all.
Maybe the reason is all the time back because maybe I think you have kings. Maybe I used to own my time back because I thought you have kings.
No,
I want to fold.
you were setting me up, mate. You were setting me up for a kill.
No, maybe I really want to fold, you know?
Honestly, I'll revenge you as aces. Like, I can't get away from this.
Yeah, everyone thought that maybe I had an ace or bluff. Bluff or ace?
No, I didn't put you in the bluff. I knew you had I just got one time. I knew you was wrong. There's no way you...
Got a new player there in seat number 1 on the bottom left corner of your screen. You see the dealer give him out those time extension cards.
What's that on the floor?
Seems like everybody at the table has them except Yang.
I just for the comedy, I want him to be facing a huge river decision against the other big stack, you know,
Right.
before we finish tonight. I'll just
I feel like it should
could
happen.
do with a bit more time. Ah,
If only I didn't use 2 minutes.
I mean, I think he was literally just trying to wind up Zahor. They obviously know each other a bit.
Yeah, apparently.
See, what do you do here?
She keeps getting these she spots. She picks up 4s, 5s, now 6s, all in early position.
And she has 25 big blinds, 26 big blinds.
Folding seems fine.
Like, it feels really tight, but also, you know,
You have to deal with this so often,
mean-
and then what?
well, this is the problem here. Okay, now it's easy for Kara.
Yeah.
And very bad for Robert from Spain. He'll be thinking, I don't care if we bust because I'm going to be in Madrid at the end of January playing the next Aces Hit Line.
I would imagine that's exactly what he's thinking. Ace King, Ace Queen.
Oh, mate, she's folding.
There's about a 73% chance that a 6 will fall on the flop.
Small pair.
It's also a 73% chance that Yang's Ace King will hold up here.
Pairs are hard to get, no?
Which pair do you have? 6.
Can't win if you fold.
I'll see on TV.
Robert needs help.
There's a 6. Knew that was coming?
No
Oh.
spades.
No spades out there, but Robert looking now for a jack or a queen. Deuce of clubs not going to help him, and Robert has been eliminated. Yang with another elimination.
Sixes.
You had 6 here, actually. Wow.
What about limping in those small pairs in early position? Can you do that? I mean, it only cost you 1 blind.
Yeah, the problem is the way this table's playing, you're highly likely to be raised. And then you
Just fold then.
just fold. Well, the other thing you can do is shove. It's not terrible to shove. Although people,
I think from first position that you don't want to be shoving 6s. 25 bigs, 23 bigs.
it's like fine. I mean, people don't do it live ever. But
There's our new player, McIntyre.
I'm on it.
Win a pot, do a shot.
Let's do it.
Floyd McIntyre.
I'll be hungry. I plan to win every pot I play.
Get this man some shots.
I'll be absolutely all over this.
Definitely get him some wine for a start. Right?
Yep. Rent's good. If it's good for you, it's good for me.
Sounds good. Do it. Yeah, just need to wait till I get there.
No problem. I'll organise that.
Nguyen raises from the small blind, and Yang, who's limped, just gives it up.
that fold like this? He knows.
Did you have it? Did you have it? Yeah. No, but did you have it?
I had a big
Always
name.
got it. Yeah.
You
She's always
swear?
got it.
Yeah, I swear.
Okay.
It's on stream, I can't lie. Oh, right.
It's on stream, I can't lie. 2 minutes ago, you were telling me you were Chinese.
What's wrong with
What the
you?
fuck? I mean, come on, mate.
My ancestors were Chinese.
Oh, your ancestors.
That's how we stand on the feature table.
Sorry,
888
my
Ambassador
bad. I
Kara
should know
Scott
that's what you meant.
bringing up the rear. Come on, Kara.
It's like one move away.
All the way up to our big chips.
Where are you from?
I'm not telling you that. I told you China.
I mean, I don't even know where Will Kasu from.
Neither does
Japan.
Will.
I think he's
Half Japan, half Japan, half Japan, half.
because he doesn't look like he's Chinese.
Where do you think I'm from?
I think you're from Laos.
Oh, no.
No? My mom got it.
Some people think I'm from Kazakhstan.
Norwegian.
I'm not from Norwegian.
Russian.
No, I mean, I was born from North China near Russian border, but my grandma is a Russian.
Catch.
No, Dasha is but I do speak Russian.
Well, Davey's going to 3-bet this. So Zohor raising into the hijack with 8-6 suited. Davey 3-bets. Wynn has a playable hand, but facing a raise and a 3-bet.
Second 3-bet we've seen from Davey that it's fair to say not every player in this field would make.
Yeah, no.
He definitely seems like a, competent, aggressive player.
Yesterday, you know, like, doing great. Yesterday for the Queens, I was like, I took back the Queen, the best 3-bet.
Most people in this field will not be 3-betting enough. I'm confident in that prediction.
Live tells. You twitch when you have kings.
I actually played it yesterday for the Queens.
Should you guys here in the UK, do you guys have the Black Friday sales?
Yeah,
Phenomenon.
But again, we inherited that. You had it for much longer before we got it. Because obviously the reason it exists is Thanksgiving, right? And
Well, Thanksgiving, right, the Friday after Thanksgiving has always been kind of the unofficial, for many, many years, this is a long time, has always been the unofficial start of the Christmas holiday season, shopping season.
yeah,
And it's funny, way back
everyone's
when...
been paid, right?
Oh, when I was like waiting tables and bartending, it's just like everybody is off that Friday. And you've had Thanksgiving dinner and then you all go shopping. So I remember when I was bartending, those were always the busiest days because people would always be shopping all day and then go in for drinks and food. And
What are you doing, man? What are you doing here? They signed you up again? What are you doing here?
it seems like a shame, though, that you would inherit the Black Friday aspect of it and not the Thanksgiving aspect. That seems terrible.
You thought you have 4,000 chips. Oh, yes.
Yeah. Long way to go then.
Get a raise here from Sui. You think it's Sue? It's Sue, right?
I would not like to say.
Yeah.
You could be right, but if it was Sue,
It's
that
either
wouldn't-
Sue or Sui. I don't know.
But if it was Sue, why wouldn't it just be TSU? Why put the I on there for no reason?
It's a good point.
Well, I don't know. No, I don't. Might be a bad point. I don't know.
Either way, that gentleman right there, who opened with King 6, has flopped 2 pair. 10s and 6s, backdoor diamonds. Not much there for either player, and you got to imagine this hand is over, but I have been proven wrong time and time again, and once again,
Yeah, this table's
I'm
pretty
wrong. Sticky.
Yeah, sticky and a bit flary. There's a lot of players that like to make a move here.
Well, it's one of those things. You and I have talked about this a bunch over the last, say, 18 months. Okay, cool. There's a decent chance that Ace-9 is the best hand. I know that. But what's your plan after you call once?
You hope they give up.
That's the plan, right? That seems like a tough plan. I just hope you don't keep bluffing. Because if you keep bluffing, then I've got to fold.
Yeah, I mean, it does depend on the player. you're in the pot with, doesn't it?
Take it down as we continue here in London, or in East London, Asper's Casino. Great poker room. And this time of year is always it's always great because obviously we've got these fantastic tournaments, but the cash games are also really good.
Yeah, it's a big poker room here. You can't see it, obviously. But I'm wondering how many tables there are. 30?
Huh?
How many tables are in the poker room, do you think?
I would say somewhere in the neighborhood of like 55-ish.
Really? Is there that many?
I think so.
Jeez.
It's pretty big.
It is
It's deceivingly big.
Yeah, yeah. It's very big for London.
This feature table is actually outside the room,
Yes.
so we can set up our production. But the actual poker room is quite large. And the games range here, really depending on what's going on in town.
Yeah, so there'll be some big games tonight.
Yeah,
You
the
would
game
have
should be
thought.
good,
There's a lot of
especially
players here.
tomorrow night again, once the players start dwindling a little bit. So I was saying it feels like a shame that you've inherited the worst part of the Thanksgiving time of the year. You've inherited the Black Friday
Yeah.
buying frenzy as
None
opposed
of
to the actual
the-
Thanksgiving.
None of the day off and the delicious dinner and the fun bit.
Just let me go spend my money.
Yeah. It's Amazon's fault. They're the reason Black Friday's in the UK.
You got Cyber Monday, right?
Well, I mean, I suppose everybody has. It's
Right.
the internet, isn't it? Everybody's got every opportunity.
We see a distinct difference here with Sui raising with fours under the gun, but you can look at his stack size. And he still might not win this hand, but the ability to kind of manipulate the pot, maneuver, double barrel if he feels like he can. He's got a lot more options than when you're really short.
Obviously a good flop for McIntyre. He can call. Yang's going to call to try and hit a 3. Why not? Why not? He has 8 gajillion thousand chips.
Nobody with a diamond in their hands.
No, that's going to kill the action, I think.
Which of these players is most likely to have a diamond draw? Who can rep this? Would it be the player on the button?
I guess.
Am I just reaching?
I mean, he actually has showdown value, so Yang's now going to try and rep a diamond. And this actually might work.
Yeah. It's a nice bet, too. 11,000 into 15. It's not a small bet. Puts both of his opponents in a really tough spot. I mean, when Yang overcalls the flop, you start thinking of the hands that he might do that with. And certainly diamonds are in that range. Yang earns himself on that one.
Which day are you back in?
I think Monday. Yeah. Yeah, Monday night after we do the YouTube thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm leaving Tuesday morning, 6 o'clock.
Where are you from?
I was born from North China, but I'm Portuguese resident.
Okay.
I didn't realize you were from
One thing we did not mention, but it's still open, registration is still open right now, is the free roll. Get in on that one. It is an $888 888 Poker Live daily free roll. The password very simply is 888poker. You can go to the restricted tournaments tab to find that. Once again, registration is open right now. The actual tournament's going on. Registration will be open for another 35 minutes. Get in there. Password 888poker. We will have free rolls for you tomorrow and Monday as well. And they all start at 8 p.m. local time here in London.
Yeah.
So I'm going to need some pins on spinning up a little stack.
So everybody on the table, you decided that I was probably the best bet. Okay, chips. Is that what you said? We went to
I
chips.
just want to spin up a small stack, and you did. So I'm not being nasty.
XL Blizzard coming up.
You spun up a small stack.
When did I spend?
One of the online series
I spun up a small.
going on over 888 Poker.
I know, see?
A lot to talk about.
Yeah, so it's very.
You'll get through it, buddy.
What you do is you get kings,
I'll chip in occasionally. We'll be fine.
shoeless, and then
Yeah, feel free anytime.
when
Well-
someone raises you, that's what I did.
I'm totally ready for that.
I'm gearing up, man. This is like the first bit of day one.
That's a good point.
I'm pacing myself.
You don't use all your best stuff the first day.
That's right. I got a book here full of lines. Don't even worry. You know the phrase "nothing going on but the rent"?
No, never heard that.
Oh,
Tell me about it. What does it mean?
was this? Pretty sure you've heard it. It's an American phrase. It's like an old phrase.
No, I've never heard it.
Oh,
Nothing going on but the rent?
yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. I mean, I was going to say there's nothing going on in this hand,
But the rent.
but the rent is the phrase of saying. I first heard that, 25 years ago, and I didn't understand it. And then I was in the bath one day and I figured it out.
Well,
Just one of those things.
Are you explaining? Are you trying to tell me that I have to take a bath to figure this out, or will you tell me? 'Cause
Well,
I don't
it
get
just means like nothing's happening, right? Nothing's going on, but the rent goes on every day, right? Regardless of whether something happens or not. They add the rent every day. Nothing going on but the rent. That's what it means. I really feel actually quite vindicated that you didn't immediately understand it. So
I've
it wasn't just
never-
me. Maybe it's just a really dumb phrase.
I think it's a stupid phrase.
Okay, cool. I feel really much better about
Like
it.
whoever came up with this phrase is an idiot.
Okay, I feel much
I
better about it.
apologize if that person is
Like if
actually listening.
you go and watch like a 80s movie, like there's a good chance someone will say it. What's going on? Nothing going on but the rent.
I've literally never heard that.
Amazing.
And even when you said it, it didn't really make sense to me.
Yeah. Probably because I'm saying it in an English accent probably sounds wrong.
Maybe that's it.
Nothing going on but the rent.
Ah.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, now I get it.
Yeah, now you get
I
it.
totally get it now.
There you
Nick
go.
Wealthall, David Jackman here for 888 Live London. If you're enjoying this nonsense, we'll be here for 2 more days after today. That's right, we're going nowhere. Stick with us.
You'll get a lot of poker actually.
A ton of
We'll
poker.
get a lot tomorrow. A couple more hours tonight, a lot tomorrow, and then Monday it'll be, won't it? Monday we'll play down to a winner.
Yeah, we'll break the money bubble tomorrow at some point. As players position themselves to make a run at the champion.
Yang's trying to win it today, isn't he? That's
He might just do it.
Yeah. He's just going to try and accumulate all the chips. So there was a button limp here, and Davey has raised from the big blind.
And I guess that's the reason why you're limping on the button.
Bobby, 500.
You have 500
Let's see how Davey plays this. Does he want to just play it straight up? Does he want to play it a little bit deceptively? 9,000 in the pot.
I mean, I think he gets floated quite a lot here. But quick fold. The old limp cool fold.
Oh, David takes that one down.
Yeah, David's done a nice job of accumulating chips over the last hour without showdown. He hasn't actually shown a hand, I don't think.
No, and he's, as you pointed out earlier on, he's the one player, one of the few players in this tournament that you notice that doesn't necessarily need a premium hand to 3-bet. He's picking up opportunities, picking his spots quite well. Kara Scott under the gun, now down to just about 17.5 big blinds.
Have you read the Assassinato book?
No. I have not.
I thought it would spark a wave of pre-flop 3-betting in live tournaments, but there's been no evidence of it yet.
If anything, I would say the trend over the last couple of years has been to less 3-betting. I think a lot of players, I think there's a monkey see, monkey do type of attitude in poker.
Oh, 100%.
And
yeah,
a lot of amateurs.
The crowd goes the same way all the time,
Right.
wherever it's going.
And if you watch a lot of the high rollers these days on this 9-7-6-2 heart board, nice flop for Sam. He's got overcards and a flush draw. Gusian is the new player at the table in seat number 3 with Queen 10 of diamonds. Not much there for him. Winning the big blind with a pair of sixes. See if he goes in. There's a bet from Sammy. That's 6,000, nearly pot. So anyway, I was talking about the trend and players, how they, the crowd goes in one direction. And if you were to watch a lot of the high rollers, which I watch all of them, you see a lot of these top players, there's just not a ton of 3-betting anymore.
Yeah.
It's, they're taking it to the streets. Playing post-flop.
Yeah. But I mean, that's a bad idea for most players, isn't it? for most tournament players. Especially like if you find a couple of really good players at your table, like a couple of pros or whatever, you should be 3-betting them, I think.
Yeah, there's explain why. People that don't understand. Because I think a lot of people make the mistake. They think, well, the pro is doing that. Why wouldn't I just emulate what they're doing?
I mean, it's hard to give one answer, because obviously it depends what level you are at in your game, what point of your development you're at. And it also depends on the situation at your table. There are some times where, conditions are good for more 3-betting, sometimes where it's less. But the thing about 3-betting is it's a very hard thing to play against. It makes poker simpler. It defines the hand. So if someone wants to play against you, they either have to call in an inflated pot or they have to 4-bet. A lot of times they'll either just give up or they'll give up and use a lot on the flop. A lot more than in a single raise pot. And so it does make the game a little bit easier to play. And there are definitely a lot of the parts of a tournament where players just play tight because, the stacks become shallow. And there are a lot of players in live tournaments that do not, qualify, travel to live tournaments, sit through a day and a half in order to play a 3-bet pot out of position and make a marginal decision with second pair, that kind of thing,
Kara's in a bit of trouble here.
Oh, no.
Yeah, she's got ace-jack. There's a jack dead. Yang's got ace-queen.
I think she's made a very standard, solid decision to move her chips in.
Yeah. No, there was a raise. There was a call. There was dead money in the pot.
Yeah, she's got a great stack to do it.
She really got unlucky here. It's also the chip leader who opens. He doesn't need a premium hand to do this with.
Yeah, he could just as easily turn over king-jack here.
Yeah. He could have been raising with whatever. There's a spade, though.
Oh, bingo!
There you go.
We,
This is
we approve of this message.
well, and then this is the interesting thing. You know, we talk about this, and obviously Kara got lucky in this particular spot. But whether she got lucky and doubled up, or whether she was out the door, you and I both agree we like this play.
Yeah,
You know, we try not to be results oriented when we
absolutely.
evaluate our decisions.
No, I think it actually probably would be quite bad to let that spot go, to be honest. Like, he's got a big range for his open, and she's got a really nice stack to shove.
Right? How often is he going to raise, just fold?
Yeah, quite a decent amount. And also he's going to call her with worse. Sometimes. Because
Pairs
he's pretty,
sometimes.
yeah, and he's pretty open player. Like, I don't think he's folding ace-10 suited there, for example.
Well, just like that, Kara got up to 36 big blinds, or 36,400. Yang back down to 99,700. Sam has really done a nice job here. 55,000. As you can see, blinds are now 500,000, 1,000. That's right, 500, 1K with a 1K big blind ante. The big blind ante, part of all the 888 live events. The shot clock, also part of all 888 live events. Sam, who I just mentioned, the gregarious, always fun Sam, raising with pocket tens.
It's excellent that we don't have his second name. It's literally just Sam.
That's just Sam now.
That's cool. So I would thoroughly recommend to you and to everyone listening the Exploiting Live Players book by Alex Fitzgerald.
Livingston? Oh, Fitzgerald, yeah.
Assassinato. It's really, really good.
Well, Christmas is coming up if you're looking for a gift from
Yeah, if someone wants to improve their live poker, I think it's a great gift. And I unfortunately received nothing for this message. I do not get a referral fee. Oh, bingo for Sam.
Yeah, there's the case 10. These are pretty loosey-goosey calls. An under-the-gun open, you get an under-the-gun 1 call and under-the-gun 2 call.
Yeah. This is, it's just like a loose table, which is why, which is why you do have to think about that with your opens, Okay, I'm opening pocket fours here. What do I actually think, from up front? What's going to happen next?
What a scenario here for Sam. He bets twice, gets called twice by players who have a combined 15% equity.
Yeah, these are the dream spots.
And, let's see what turn brings out. If it brings out an interesting card, and it certainly does. Look at that now. Yang with a gut
why is he
shot.
checking? Sorry to cut across you, I just don't understand that check.
Yeah,
like, it's a draw-heavy board. You've got 2 players. You've got to bet.
Yeah. And part of...
There's 2 reasons. First of all, obviously, you can get run down. But second of all, you've got way more chance of getting paid on the turn. Right?
Yeah, I think people forget about that. They think, well, I want to check and let my opponent get there. And my attitude is always, no, well, if your opponent has a draw, instead, why don't you just price it accordingly so they call you? Okay?
Absolutely.
So you end up getting value. Because as you point out, now, how does he get value?
Also, his hand is just so strong. You just want to try and get 3 streets.
It's a little bit of a different scenario if he has top set. The fact that he had middle set and that 2 players called, it's really likely that one of his opponents had a queen. Why not check it to them and why not bet and make them call?
Yeah, queen or just well, as we saw, like all kinds of crap.
Yeah.
But like kind of connected-y, could improve type. Actually, that's a surprising check.
Amazing draw here. If you didn't call, not sure I re-raise. It's a good idea to re-raise.
We're playing 500, 1,000 now as the blinds go up. So this is the easy commentator and viewer level. If you want to know what big blinds people have.
Yeah, for the mathematically challenged out there. McIntyre. 15,500 chips in front of him. Yang on 93,700. And I think it just goes back to, human nature. Trying to be trappy, trying to play fancy. Sometimes the best way to make the most is just simply playing the hand straightforward. You made a good hand, bet it.
Yeah, I always cite this, and really I should find the YouTube reference. Maybe I'll do that for tomorrow. But when Phil Ivey made his deep run in the World Series of Poker about 7 or 8 years ago, somebody put a compilation of all his hands on YouTube from day, because obviously he's always at the feature table, and like something like day 2, day 3, day 4. There's almost no bluffs in the compilation. It's all value bets, and they're all like chunky value bets. So he's just like, pay me, pay me, pay me,
Right.
pay me, pay me.
He just has ace-jack on a jack-high board, and he bets.
Yeah. And he bets like 3/4 pot as opposed to, 40%. He's just like, these guys are going to pay me. They've got loads of chips in their stack. This is an easy game. There's no fancy plays. There's no, we'll trap them here. Now, part of that is that obviously he has the image as being a bluffy player, so he's going to get paid. But even still, it's instructive to think about where the chips come from in poker.
I think you could argue that Sam has, I'm not going to say Sam has Phil Ivey's image, but I think Sam has definitely a
has
bluffy.
Yeah, you're right. He does, which makes that check even more. You see this. I remember, I'm having flashbacks to when I started playing poker in London card rooms, and you do see this massive leak in these players who really like to bluff, but then they also like to get tricky because they just like to be tricky. So when they have big hands, they also get tricky. And as you're pointing out, that's not a coherent strategy, because if you've established that you're a loose, bluffy player, you now must value bet thin, because that's how you. That's how you make the most from that image.
And look here. I mean, look at Win. You know how Win made this? Win bet pair of tens in the flop. Win bet a pair of tens in the turn.
Yeah.
And got paid.
Yeah.
Then, you've been talking about it all day. The ability to adjust to the dynamic at your table. And this particular table seems like, hey, play straightforward.
Yeah.
Make a hand bet.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Play Blast on 888poker. Been talking about all these wonderful things here. The Blast Sit and Go, an exciting sit and go game where you could win big. That's right. 3 or 4 players are in for a fun surprise as they compete for a randomly drawn prize pool in a time-limited Blast Sit and Go.
So presumably you can win like what, $1 or $2 or something?
No, the prize pool could be up to 10,000 times your buy-in.
10,000 times.
10,000 times your buy-in.
That's the return I'm looking for.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Give me that.
Davey with Jacks. You are watching 888 Live in London. An £1,100 buy-in event, £500,000 guaranteed tournament. This is late day one action. I believe players will take a short break at the end of this level.
Very good. Gussian defends, but he only has 18 bigs back. However,
was it a min open?
no, he made it 2.6. Davey, who we haven't seen make a misstep yet, cannot be enticed to wager.
No, he just probably figures he's way ahead, way behind.
It's a test of his discipline.
It does pay him off, though. If I was compelled to pay off on the river, would you ever be compelled to kind of put a smaller bet on the turn, kind of in a weird blocker bet type way? Kind of where you name your own price type thing?
Yeah.
Because then it'll go check on the river anyway?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't induce the bluffs, obviously, by doing that, but...
Yeah, but you also give yourself... Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting idea, because you also give yourself the chance to get paid by worse.
Right. Maybe get paid by an 8, a 9 there on the turn.
Yeah.
Some sort of weird draw. And then at the same time, you don't end up paying like a pot-sized bet on the river. You probably pay more like, you could probably bet like 2,700 on the turn. And then just check it back. The man who likes golf and beer. In that order. Wearing that black sweatshirt.
Or possibly at the same time. We don't know. We'll ask him.
I have to imagine it's the same time. How do you not like golf and beer at the same time?
So I had an...
You're a golfer.
Well, yeah, and I can remember a few years ago, the first time I played a course near Las Vegas. And on the third green, the cart comes up with a sprightly intern. You guys want a beer? I'm like, oh God, this is bad. This is bad. This is bad. This is yes.
It's terrible too because the beverage cart on a golf course. If any of you out there have ever played golf, it's almost never driven by an unattractive person.
But they know what they're doing.
They know what they're doing.
That's
yes.
what I thought when she bounced up. I thought they know what they're doing.
Bounced is a perfect term for it too, I'm imagining. And I was not there with you.
And she had a bounce in her step. That's what I'm saying.
New player at the table, Gusian, on the button with ace-queen suited.
And like it was 85 degrees and... What
And a cold beer sounds really good.
Yeah, lady with cold beer. This is like... I might be dead.
Man, everything going Yang's way here. I don't know how Gusian gets away from this. I mean, I don't think he should.
No, I don't think he
I
should.
mean, button open, small blind, 3-bet.
I mean, from what I've seen... Yeah, I mean, this is the right play. And he's just in one of those gross situations.
Unreal.
He's not dead, though.
No, not at all.
Look at that 30%.
He's got spades.
Got 30%.
There's 3 queens in the deck.
We've been in worse situations than this.
I mean, the mere fact that I found somebody to fall in love with me and marry me tells you that 30%. That's really looking good. 1 spade out there. He's looking great right now.
It's fine. It's got this. Just needs to find the lady on the river.
Come on, 1 time. Not this time.
Yeah,
big pot there, 126,000 headed over to Yang, and Gusian eliminated. It's only in there for about an orbit or 2. And that man right there just cannot lose. He had a small little bump in his step with Kara, but he's right back on the horse, and he's up to 126,000 chips. Look at Sam. I like this guy.
And now you want to go, ow, I don't... Which part?
I'm just afraid about, he has hair and
Shut up, mate. Come on.
Someone give this man an Oscar. I've got to put a 10th of my chips in with Ace King. This guy.
Nomination to keep Sam at the feature table for the rest of the time he's in the tournament.
Yeah, I'm all for that.
I think it's important that he stays here. It's very entertaining.
Poor geezer for a minute, he thought he was good.
Yeah, to be fair, you did have a
He thought he was good. He was like, oh, you late?
Kara's entertained.
Yeah, all right. Which stack of chips?
How often is she going to pick up small
She's
pairs?
like got some sort of sponsorship deal with 5s on the side. Who are your sponsorship deals? 888poker and Pocket 5s.
It's
Wait.
unreal. She 3-bet this. Oh, she has.
Oh, that's a lively,
Yeah,
lively 3-bet.
I think if you're going to play it, I kind of like that. You end up either winning the pot without seeing a flop, or you end up getting it heads up, which neither one is necessarily a bad thing.
Yep. She hasn't 3-bet yet today either. Like, it just looks really strong. I think it's quite a cool play, actually.
And I got to tell you, I mean, if I raise King Queen into the gun +1, probably one of the worst hands I'm going to be raising from early position. I probably just let this one go against Kara's image.
Kara's sitting there going like, I'm sick and tired of getting pocket pairs and having to fold them after putting money in the pot, so I'm changing the script.
Hey. Little mix up there.
She's always been able to move chips, Kara. Like she's always been naturally aggressive ever since she started playing. And if you are naturally aggressive when you play poker, it's such a blessing because you can learn from there But learning to be aggressive is actually quite hard, I think. If you don't, do you know what I mean? You see a lot of people when they start poker, they're a little bit passive and a little bit afraid and whatever. It's actually hard to learn that kind of thing where you're just like, screw this, I need to put some pressure on and whatever.
Yeah, have that fearless gear, so to speak.
Yes.
It's a lot easier to pull back the reins.
Exactly.
And to let somebody free. And I think for Kara in particular, I think it's really played into her game here. Another ace-king, ace-queen confrontation. Davey just calling, though. And against an under-the-gun open where Win was just 3-bet, I don't hate this at all. In fact, I kind of like it. I know I can see the cards, but again, I'm just one, especially if I'm not big blind, I just don't need to 3-bet out of the big blind very often. I'm going to be calling so often out of the big blind that I want to be calling with some of my value hands too. You keep a lot of hands in that you want in there. You keep king queens in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
You keep the ace jacks. You keep the ace tens. And this is unfortunate for Win. Let's see if she sticks around for one straight. She does. She calls.
No, even he does that.
That's a good card to keep bluffing.
He got top pair. Runner straight. Runner. Especially the thing is like, you should.
Davey is bluffing with the ace queen here.
He give you a free card. Maybe he doesn't pair.
Trying to put pressure maybe on a small pocket pair. Maybe exactly ace king.
Yeah.
But if he raid, you're gonna call it.
Yeah, no, I'm shoving.
On the turn.
She doesn't believe him.
No.
Nice read. Nice read.
Yeah, look at him. I'm pretty good at reading lips. I think he says like, "Wow, I couldn't even get you to fold that."
When am I going to get ace king? Oh yeah, I've got ace king.
I am. That's got to be a little bit of a little frustrating if you're Davey, thinking, well, I couldn't even get you to fold ace king. Man, that's something I'm definitely gonna kind of put away in the back of my head and think, okay, well, next time, if I've got, I can bet this for small value next time as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I think she.
Over here.
I don't know what the right phrase is, but like kind of very small level tilt. It's like one of those calls where it's like, I've lost the last couple of pots. She lost a pot in the blinds to Yang, I think. She's been 3-bet by Kara, and it's just
she lost with her aces earlier.
She lost with her aces. There's a little bit of no.
Yeah.
I'm not giving up.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, maybe I lost, but I'm gonna see it.
Yeah, exactly. Screw the world.
That's part of the game, figuring out where your opponents are at and figuring out if your opponent is at that kind of like, you know what? I'm rich enough. I'm calling mode. Getting back to Kara, though. Oh, forget about Kara for a second. Sorry, we got nines versus kings.
Yeah, and both deep stacked. A reminder, we're playing the viewer-friendly 1,000-chip big blind level. So, they're big blinds from the stack.
Davey is an interesting player now. I wonder what happens with him. Now, he just lost with the ace-queen.
I tell you, he may be thinking of a shove, and the only reason I'm saying that is because I think he's capable of it, having seen him 3-bet, and he's got like 30 odd big blinds. He's not going to play, but I don't think he's ever calling there. Put it that way. Ace jack out position to a 3-bet. Sam's all in. Wow, Sam's going to get snapped off here.
He is.
Bad timing. I mean, that is spewy. He's like 60 big blinds deep. He doesn't need to do that. That's a 62 big blind effective shove from a standard 3-bet.
Looking for a 9. Ace 8-3.
We're going to lose some entertainment from the table, looks like here. Oh, no, he's just got him covered. He's getting up, but we think he's just got him covered.
Yeah, according to our stats, Sam will have about 4,000, 5,000 chips left. But an unfortunate situation for our gregarious friend.
How do you explain that shove, though? Like, the guy's made it 7,000, and you want to make it 60-odd thousand? It's not like Sue's been 3-betting up a storm.
No, yeah, I mean, my only guess is that, some players are a little bit uncomfortable playing post-flop and just figure, you know what? You got me. You got me. Let's gamble.
Well, they did got him.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Sam, it didn't work out. So he's down to about 5,000 chips, or as
I'm not
Nick
saying-
pointed out, just 5 big blinds.
I'm not saying he can't ever make that play. It's just that they were so deep.
I think on that exact stack depth, it's a mistake. I don't think there's any other way to say it. You just because you don't really want to 4-bet fold nines. I don't think.
Why can't I mean, you can just flat call. I mean,
I think you just flat. I mean, that's what I mean.
You're
To me,
so-
it seems like a
you're so
really
deep.
easy. Like you made it 2x, your opponent made it 6x. You have 65. Call.
Yeah.
See a flop.
Definitely.
And then in all likelihood, I mean, depending on the flop goes out, maybe it goes check, bet, call, check, check. I mean, maybe you lose one more straight.
Yeah, and to be clear, if Sue had ace queen and he folds and he wins with the nines, I still don't like the play. I just think it's a spew. But
I think there's just a fear of, well, if I call, what do I do next? If I do this, what happens if I do that? And people are kind of afraid of the unknown. And they figure, well, at least once my chips are in, I don't have any more decisions to make.
well, if that's your mission, you don't need to buy in the first place. if you don't want to make decisions, we got a decision-making game here in poker, and
Got an interesting hand here. I got a raise from Win in the small blind. Kara calls. Kara hits an 8. She's in the lead. So what we were talking about with Kara earlier on, her just naturally aggressive style that she has really plays to her strength, because people assume, I think, for many years, that she wasn't the bluffing type. And I still remember, actually, the first time we did the very first 888 live event here in London that we live streamed.
yeah,
Where we streamed it from was we were all in the featured room. We were in the room.
okay.
And we commentated about 10 feet from the table. And I was doing it with Parker Talbot, Tonka at the time. And
Wynn's keeping firing here.
she is, yeah. She's going to try to rep this big hand. I kind of like it, you know what I mean? She's the raiser pre-flop. She can rep some of these big hands. Kara's going to have some 8s in her range. You're not going to get a queen to fold, but I do think you get an 8.
It's interesting Kara hasn't folded quickly.
No, and look at this. She's not folding at all.
She's a non-believer. It's a blind versus blind type situation.
It's getting scarier and scarier.
I mean, it's just one of those situations where if Lynn bets, she's kind of repping not many hands.
She's
but
basically
it's-
saying she has like
but it-
ace-king.
But it still might work.
Ace-king. She's saying she has like ace-king, a set of kings, a set of aces. I mean,
As she gives up.
yeah.
Now, Kara's now thinking, do I turn this into a bluff?
If she bets, she's absolutely bluffing, right?
Yeah. That's what Kara's thinking. Do I turn this over, or do I need to try and get her to fold a queen?
And she moved all in. I love this. Oh, this is so awesome. Two players thinking they're bluffing each other.
Kara 100% is trying to get her to fold a queen there, 100%.
Oh, obviously, yeah.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. I mean, she's not betting for value. All in with an 8. Get
Sorry.
called by 7s.
I am biased because she's my friend, but I do.
That's a cool play, though.
I do love how different she is to how when she plays to how you'd assume she was if you didn't know her, like you were just saying.
Well, that's what I was saying, yeah. So
She's so nice to everyone. And
she
she's
bluffed,
such a
right.
Canadian sweetheart, and then
Oh,
she's
she's
just
apologizing.
She's just a little animal, just like
she like moves all in and goes, I'm sorry.
yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I just had to
I'm sorry.
bluff my.
But, okay, so she's at the featured table with Michael Mizrachi, the grinder.
Yeah,
And
I'm aware of him. Yeah,
Kara bluffs. And they're on about a 10, 20-minute delay, and Tonka just loudly, Kara Scott bluffs!
that's not very helpful.
The best thing, but we're and unfortunately at this point we're 10 feet away from the feature
my
table.
God, yeah.
So everybody at the table just looks over at Kara, and she's just like, little wry smile crosses her face, and she's like, "Oop,
I'm pretty sure I don't.
the jig is up." Yeah. But I think you look back to some of her great finishes. I mean, she's had multiple deep runs at the World Series of Poker main event. She finished, I want to say, was it second in the Irish Open?
That's right.
And I think a lot of that was because of her natural aggressive style and the fact that people thought she was probably a lot more passive than she is, and that played to her strength. That was great. Jack 9 versus 7s here. Let's see if Sam can survive. He's got a jack there. Nothing going Wynn's way, man. It's just unfortunate. Pair of jacks here for Sam. I mean, it's not like Wynn is losing any monstrous pots. It's just losing all of them.
I don't think she's playing bad. I think she's actually playing pretty well. But we always end up saying this on stream. Poker's a tough game because you can play well and still be walking home, you know.
I mean, I actually think the bluff with the 7s wasn't bad. I mean, I don't think you're getting a queen to fold, but I do think she puts an awful lot of pressure on an 8. And I think a lot of players fold an 8 there on the turn.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kara Scott, though, look at this now.
Don't call it a comeback.
Bottom right corner of our screen. Kara back in the mix. I'm telling you right now, if I remember playing with her again, I'm never folding. Never. She's going to have to show it to me every time. I'm not a believer.
Yeah, the very first year she played the World Series,
She must have just
when
run
she
over
finished 90th or 100th or something. Yeah, she was 3-betting a lot actually, and people just didn't play
assume they had it.
Yeah,
they just
like,
assume she had it every time.
And she'd say, "Oh, I'm getting such good hands."
It's a brilliant thing. I mean, when
just having that image of
I think
you don't
people,
bluff.
yeah, I think people make it's great to have the grinder's image or Phil Ivey's image when you're making hands. The problem is it's hard to make hands. I would take Kara Scott or Dan Harrington's image
right
every day of the week because I don't need to make hands then. Yeah, maybe I won't get paid as often.
I think in cash that's definitely true. In tournaments, I'm not sure because I don't know. I mean, the most important thing is that you know what you're aware of your image,
right,
and you're aware of how the players perceive you. So these players at this table, unless they've played with Kara before, they have no reason to think she's bluffing. She hasn't shown down an out-of-line move.
Unless they know her from the past.
So yeah, so if they know her, then that's different. But
raise here from Zahor and kind of earliest position under the gun +2. Kara Scott and the cutoff with 8s.
Yeah, this is kind of an impatient raise from Zahor because off this stack in this position at this table, you don't want to be playing this. Yeah,
this is the kind of hand that looks really pretty. And if you're playing a cash game and you're 100, 200 big blinds deep, yeah, you're raising all day. But when you're playing a 23 big blind stack, you're just not going to be able to realize your equity from up front with that hand.
Oh, Kara's going to get shoved on here. Zahor's going to be able to get...
Ooh, Dedusha, we know him.
Oh, we do?
Dedusha is a regular on the 888 live scene. And there was no... That screams.
Yeah, that was a timing tell of 100%.
Oh, maybe is ace-king. But, I mean, it's like 10s plus ace-king.
So Kara's got to call 23k into 39 here. So she's actually getting a good price.
She is, but I think I think what it does to her stack has to be factored in, doesn't it? Or no?
These are the questions I want.
She gambles.
Oh, she called?
She does call. She's getting a pretty good price, as you pointed out. Hopefully she's up against ace-king.
Yeah, I'm not massively into the call, but...
Ace what? Ace jack.
Ace 7.
I mean, it is 888 live.
That's true. I'm not sure how much that should factor in equity-wise, but...
You're going to have 4 on the river.
And unfortunately for Kara Scott, the 8 does not come to Dedusha with the full double up to 62,000. And this is something I've actually been talking to a few tournament pros about, and I'll throw this out to our audience. Tweet us your answers. Let us know what you think. And I'll ask you, Nick, chip utility. In situations where you might possibly be getting the right price. but the harm it will do to your stack is so significant. Is there impetus to basically pass on the spots that are really close? Because it'll do such a, like, right, look in this spot here, like, it knocks Kara from, like, I mean, she had, what, like 46 bigs, and now she's at 22 again.
Yeah.
It's absolute fucking speech play.
I mean, I don't see how you could ever calculate that. I mean, it's
Well, I'll give you an example.
It's like a narrative, isn't it?
It is,
How
but I'll
would
give you an
ever
example.
calculate?
I'll give you an example. Let's say I'm playing at a table where I feel like I have a pretty good hand on the table. The table's playing pretty passively, and I'm able to raise and take it a ton.
Yeah.
At that particular table, and let's say I'm on 70 or 80 big blinds, so I have enough chips that I can just keep raising. People are folding to me. And
Where is this dream?
it happens. I mean, I'm
scenario?
saying you get into situations like that where
Yeah.
you just have a good hand on the table, you have a good image, whatever it might be.
Short stack all ins here.
Yep, Sam's all in here after doubling up once already. He's got 10 bigs. Certainly not an automatic call, and I don't think it's going to be a call.
Oh
No, sorry, McIntyre is all in.
yeah, he just covers Sam.
Yeah. So King 9 versus Queens.
Sort of 10 big blinds versus 12 big blinds.
I'll get back to my meaningless conversation in a second. See if Sam can survive
No,
this.
I think it's a really interesting topic. Like we will.
There's a 9. Neither player with a club in their hands. Jack. The deuce and the Queens hold. Full double up for Sam. Sam up to 22,500. McIntyre, you're not out.
Yeah, we don't think you're out.
Don't go anywhere yet. Okay, so my question for you is, let's say you're at a good table.
So first of all, just to get this in, I don't think Kara's decision is an example of this.
No, it's not.
Because
It happens not to be.
I think it's like I think it's a pretty clear fold for, like, she'd 3-bet an early position raiser when she herself was in quite early position. The guy instantly moved all in. You know,
you and I pointed out it was a timing tell there.
you're praying he turns over ace king
Right.
when you call there.
You're not doing very well against the range that he's shoving.
No,
there
and
at
you
all.
are getting good odds, but even still, I don't personally like it. Anyway, carry on, because
Anyway,
your topic is stack utility.
Right. My question for you is this: you're at a table that's relative. It's a good table for you. You've got a good image, and let's say you've got, say, 60, 70 big blinds. You've got a really nice, healthy stack.
Yeah.
And it's enough where you're able to raise a bunch, you're able to open, you can 3-bet occasionally, and then you happen to do that, and you get yourself into a situation where you basically have a choice: do I want to flip for 65% of my chips? Where, yeah, it's probably a flip, and you're getting a decent price. And in pure EV terms, you should be calling there.
Yeah.
But the chips lost will hurt you a lot more than the chips gained will help you. Does that make sense? What I'm saying, what I'm explaining?
The way that you said it makes sense. I'm not sure that the idea really makes sense in practical terms. Because, how do you win chips in a tournament? Well, you win them by taking positive EV spots. That's how you win them. So the problem with promoting that idea is that what most players will end up doing is they'll end up refusing spots they should take because they'll overrate their chances of chipping up without danger, and they'll underrate the benefit of actually getting plus EV. And what you have to realise at this stage in the tournament, if you have a 50-50 decision, but there's a lot of dead money in the middle,
Right, there's no ICM considerations at this point.
No, so you're probably passing up quite a lot of dead money, and I don't know, I just think players overrate their ability to accumulate chips.
I think that's an interesting point. A lot of the argument, the old question of, hey, first hand of the main event, are you
right?
Are you getting it in with this versus this? And you're like, let's say you're 54, 46, and a lot of really good poker players will actually point out and be like, most people overrate their ability to pick up chips easier later on.
Absolutely.
And if you get a 6%, 7% edge, you need to take it.
Well, yeah, because also remember, you're getting that 6-7%.
Oh, look at this. Yang hits it.
Yeah, he's been
it on the river.
Running pure, as they say.
Yeah, and just win.
Also remember, you're getting a 6-7% edge on your entire stack. Right? when people talk about, oh, I can raise and take here, I can win pots uncontested. Well, you're only going to win 4 or 5 big blinds. So in order to do that, like across an entire stack, you're going to have to play a lot of hands with that edge. So
Right, and that's assuming the table's going to stay the same. That's assuming that you are correct and that you haven't overrated your ability.
Absolutely.
That's assuming you're not going to get a cooler.
And
There's so many things that factor in there. It makes sense.
When people say take a better spot, it's always it's a bit of a red flag to me that they misunderstand what their edge is in poker. Like, it's very hard to cooler people actually. Like, it doesn't actually happen that often. Now, if you're at a table of beginners and you're a professional player and you know that table's going to stay together all day, then maybe passing up.
Well, but to sit and go, right.
Maybe passing up small edges is fine. But
Now when you go on live, I'll call you.
so when you talk about stack utility, it's an idea, but I'm not sure.
Have you got pairs? Do you want to call or not?
No, I don't want to. No, on the phone.
I understand what you're saying. I mean, basically the question really is, do you pass up small edges to like pick up easier chips later on? And the answer really is no, for the most part.
Mostly no,
Right.
I think is probably the right answer.
I
That
mentioned the
that
players.
doesn't mean there are never situations though.
I mentioned the players going on break.
Oh yeah.
That break is happening right now. So don't go anywhere. It's going to just be a 15-minute short break here for us here at 888 Live. More Nick Wealthall, more David Tuckman, and of course, more 888 Live after this.
deep dark blue. I'm in the deep dark blue. I'm in the deep dark blue. I changed my mind. Now I get it. Make me feel alive. I've got nothing to hide. Would I go chasing after? I had myself to blame. I knew it meant disaster. My arms went up in flame. I ran until the morning. Bit my heart from my chest. I put my soul into this. I can't control myself. Why do I still try to chase this? I can only hold my breath. All my sanity has gone, and I cannot control myself. I went insane, trying to forget, but I hate myself now that I still want it, and I wasted my time. Must be out of my mind. Would I go chasing after? I had myself to blame. I knew it meant disaster. My arms went up in flame. I ran until the morning. Bit my heart from my chest. I put my soul into this. I can't control myself.
Hello, 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 and welcome back to London. We're here for 888 Live. Nick Wealthall, David Tuckman, as we enter the last couple of levels of our day. We're back at it tomorrow, approximately, we'll call it 4:45 p.m. local time tomorrow. That's what I think the start will be.
Good to know. Hadn't heard that. Just making a note.
I believe day 2 action, we're going to let them play the first 3 levels, and then we'll pick up the action after the first break. So that is the plan that is in place right now. And then we will we'll be here basically from then until the end. Still Kara Scott's table. I know we have said this, and for those of you out there probably getting sick of it, but I can't tell you how excited I am to have Kara Scott back on the tour.
You missed her.
I did. She's just a breath of fresh air, you know?
Look at that big old stack. 127k, all in, he says.
And he looks to the left and he realizes that the players behind him just don't have enough chips. Blinds are now 600,000. I'm sorry, 600, 1,200. The 1,200 big blind ante. See, only about half the table is actually back. Yang still pacing the field at 139,000. Sui right behind him. Sui.
We may never know.
I'm gonna say his name 14 different ways.
Yeah, I think he has. Maybe he doesn't. I'll take his chips. Maybe he thought I should have chips. I should have won that.
Karen finds herself a little bit short once again. She's on about 18 big blinds. See if she can run that up once again. Christian Zetchi here for Poker News. Always does a great job reporting.
He does do a great job. Top man.
He just travels non-stop. Oh. This is an unfortunate...
Yeah, depends who you're rooting for. Amazing spot for Nguyen. Unfortunate spot for Davey.
And Davey, who had played really well, just, he lost that ace-queen hand, where he turned it into a bluff. Didn't pick up a lot of pots, and now finds himself 2 cards away from being eliminated. And he is now drawing dead. Nguyen will double up here. Davey is not out, though. As you can see, he is down to about 4,000 chips. That is just 3.5 big blinds. Once again, I want to welcome you to the broadcast, whether you're enjoying the show on Facebook or over on YouTube, our YouTube channel. Nick Wealthall, David Tuckman here. We'll be here until we crown a champion. A couple more hours of live streaming tonight.
It's been a lively table. Plenty of chat. Sam's been a bit quieter since he lost that big hand, unfortunately, but...
I think I'm losing.
McIntyre rocking the 2K all in. Davey rocking the 4K all in. Yang trying to bust them all and just get richer. We've seen big comebacks. Actually, it was the last London tournament where we saw tons of short stack comebacks. It was actually pretty weird. But we've seen some serious miracle comebacks on this feature table. Both McIntyre and Davey trying for one here. Super short stacked.
Yeah, I want to say it was last time we were here.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Now we saw somebody come back from like half a big blind.
And you want to call one time?
It's all right. No. What karma comes back on that. Karma comes back on that.
Well, there's a queen.
Show me a club.
2 clubs out there, though.
Space.
Wow, McIntyre hits the king. Davey will win a little bit because he has like 1.5k more than McIntyre.
Yeah, I think Davey ends up losing about 1,000 total. McIntyre basically quadruples up.
Okay.
And for Yang, it's the equivalent of a mosquito bite. And we continue. As you can see in the right corner of your screen, though, as he's gone now, Sam, though. Sam was down to about 5 big blinds.
Yeah,
He's
he
back
was.
up to 20.
Yeah. Yeah, always hang in there. Always watch what you do with those last few chips.
Yeah, poker's ridiculous like that. Surviving is just so huge.
You know, some people, pros even, don't play No Limit Hold'em, David. They can't handle the swings.
I do hope Sam sticks around. I like this guy.
You want him on your feature table at 2 a.m. on the second day, don't you? Like,
Yeah.
keeping it buzzing.
Good luck, sir.
Davey is all in for 3,400 chips. He will be called.
Cool. All options are available to you, Fraser. It's totally.
Good luck. Let's do it.
He's in a dream scenario. He gets called by one player, and he's 50-50.
Now he wants the club.
He would be taking
Never over till it's over. Or something more positive.
Fair enough.
And he flops the nuts.
See?
Show me a diamond.
Here he goes.
Diamond.
He flops the absolute stones here.
I like running pure in 6.
And he doubles up to 8,600. McIntyre now down to 5,900. It's just like a battle of little 4-year-olds. Just fighting each other. Back and forth they go. If you missed today's free roll, don't fret, don't cry. We have another one tomorrow. 8 p.m. local time. We will give you the password for that
But you could have done this.
tomorrow.
Physically, you could have done this.
The new 888 poker high roller tournament, the Dragon. That is a brand new monthly high roller tournament. The next one is on December 22nd. The buy-in, $1,050, $200,000 guaranteed. Satellites, though, starting at just 50 cents. Now on 888 poker. Dedusha. No, thank you. Yang. Yeah, we've been at London enough, though, that you just feel like you see the same players year in and year out.
Like a car bonnet, he's on it.
Davey all in, McIntyre all in. These two battling once again.
Go on, Sam.
It's McIntyre who's at risk this time.
Find it, Sam.
Just these two. I could do this all day.
That might just
Do
happen.
this all day as long as nobody wins 2 in a row.
Right.
I'm all in.
Two kings out there and a 5. There's the ace, and McIntyre will eliminate McIntyre will double up to 14,200. Davey will once again be their short stack at 2,700. So each and every time the short stack has doubled up. Davey left shaking his head in disbelief. How could this happen? What did I do to deserve this? Nice overhead shot here at Asper's Casino. Asper's Casino, actually in the Westfield Stratford Mall, which,
So the roller coaster.
as far as malls go, it's kind of a nice mall. I'm not a
Wow.
mall guy.
Well, it is a nice mall, but if it gets like I didn't see what it was like earlier today, but it can get really rammed.
Right. I mean, when I say I like the mall, I like the outside. It's the Westfield Stratford here. It's in East London. There's an inside portion of it, and then there's an outside portion.
Mm-hmm.
When I say that I like it, I am talking about the outside portion. I think the outside portion is kind of nice.
It's quite open.
Yeah, it's open. You know, it's
Good for the shops.
They do fake snow for you and
They
stuff,
do that, yeah.
which is kind of cool.
They got a Shake Shack type or whatever it is, Burger Shack or
Yeah.
something that you like as an American.
As an American, right?
So Hawes got the best hand and wishes he had a few more chips, but he'll take it if he can double up here.
Well, the nice thing is he's got a good stack to get action on because he's definitely going to get action. There's the call. Cards on their back.
When I see all these aces, you're like, you got the aces? Look at that.
John Suey takes it in stride, almost as if he expected to see the aces.
I had 10-4 by the way. Let me see. I'm lucky.
And the aces will hold.
Nice answer.
They got, there's some nice bars here. There are some nice restaurants. I don't really understand people that go to a mall though, like an inside mall.
Well, it's a leisure activity for people.
Is it?
Yeah, they literally go. It's my free day. I'm going to go to the shops. I'm going to go to the mall. What do you mean? Is it? Your people invented malls.
Yeah, but I feel like we've evolved past it.
Oh, really? What's America doing now?
Maybe I feel like I've evolved past it. I don't know.
Baroque string quartets have assassinated.
No, I just don't understand. I mean, to me, if I have a day off, the last thing I want to do is go into it. Like I want to like fight for parking and then go inside a mall and. I mean, I can feel like if I need to buy something, can't I just do that on the line now? At least an outside mall, it's like you get to be outside a little bit and do your shopping.
I mean, look, I think they're all suffering, aren't they? Like, it's just too easy to buy things without leaving your house now.
That's what I mean. I mean, even if I am outside, though, I mean, I can buy it right here. I've got my phone.
Yeah.
Even if I don't want to be home, like I can still go out and do it.
But this has been a very successful poker room because, and the casino as well, because it has so much foot traffic. Like, it's such a big mall, such a big facility.
It's something that is so unique to the UK. You would never see this in the States, and it's amazing to have a casino and a huge poker room right smack dab in the middle of a mall.
Yeah.
And it's not a small mall. It's a huge mall.
The thing is, in England, we frickin' love gambling, man.
Well, that's the thing. See, the funny thing is...
We love it.
We love it, too. But, don't do it, though.
We have a weird relationship with it because the laws in our country are probably a little bit behind where the people are. Like, people would do it a lot more if it was more widely available. But
right. Well, listen, your country's far more progressive than mine is, so...
That's very true.
Well, sports betting is becoming legal on a state-by-state basis in the States, which is quite nice.
Yeah, how's that going?
It's going well in certain
it?
states, yeah. Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Indiana. There's a handful of states, and they believe that sports betting will probably be legal in, probably somewhere in the neighborhood of like 12 to 15 states over the next few years. And the hope is, from a poker perspective, bringing this back full circle, is that poker will kind of be piggybacked on whatever bill is part of the sports betting bill.
Okay. When does that happen?
That's the hope. That's the hope that in certain states, certainly not a foregone conclusion in any of these states, but the hope is that in certain states that poker will be part of that bill. So, but it's been happening. I mean, like I said, it's now legal. I mean, certainly not on a federal level, but on a state-by-state basis, there's been some optimism. Pair 10s now for McIntyre. Yang, though, open-ended. McIntyre also has a 10 of clubs. He cannot fold this. He probably can just shove. I mean, this went check on the flop. I would imagine this is just a shove. Well, McIntyre just calls, though. Yang's going to go all in. McIntyre's got to call this, right? Yep, he does. So whether it went in on the turn or the river, still all went in. And McIntyre takes that down. That's still a double up, and you just talked about it. What was McIntyre down to, 2,500?
Yeah, 2.5. Yeah, he was.
So he's down to 2 big blinds, and he is now at 37,000.
And like a really workable stack.
Yeah. Little hit for Yang there. He's down to 115,000. Nick Wealthall, David Tuckman here. Got about an hour and a half of poker left in the evening.
Left in our amuse-bouche.
We'll be back at it tomorrow, approximately, call it, I'd say 5 p.m.
How do you even know this?
Well, I mean,
you get the directives. I don't.
Well, no, we come back after the first break, and it's math. So they come back. The players come back tomorrow at 2.
Okay.
They play for 2 hours. They go on a break. Then they come back.
Okay.
And then we're on a 30-minute delay.
And then we're in. Okay. Perfect. So I can have a lie-in. I can enjoy my London Sunday Times.
Yes.
Some bacon.
Do you actually read it, or do you just have it to feel smart?
Well, I don't read any newspapers during election time because we're having an election. It's all like horrific. So I'm out. So instead, I will have my brunch and I will look over the NFL games for the day.
There you go.
And I will pick some wages.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Will you reveal your wages before the... Because
Happy
if people
to.
join us...
Happy
okay,
to.
so there's some... If anybody joins us tomorrow at 5 p.m. local time, that is before any of the NFL games are. The NFL games start at 6.
Yeah.
And if you want to follow Nick Wealthall
and laugh at Nick.
Well,
laugh at Nick with 888.
You can either fade Nick or you can bet with Nick.
That's true. I'll let you into a little secret. Having a very good year.
I was going to say, what's your record
I'm
this
having
year?
a very good year this year. I mean, I'm up, so that's good, right? Like, it's really hard to be up. Like, based on...
Well, I mean, you got to beat the juice.
Yeah.
To beat the juice, you've got to, be winning at like 55, 56%.
For those of you wondering, I bet purely for fun.
Obviously.
I bet like 10 a game, something like that. Like, if I'm feeling saucy, maybe 20. But
I think I lost to you last we played, right?
you did, yeah.
Did I ever pay you?
I remember that. I don't know.
I'm sure I did.
Yeah, you're good. You probably paid me. But it's just such a fun thing to bet on.
Ooh. Sam picks up ace king. Sam strikes me as the kind of guy, if he is going to play golf, he can drive that ball really far.
Yeah, that'll stay hit, right? He is a big man on campus, and he's been very entertaining today.
Davey is all in for his last 1,500. Keep in mind, the big blind was 1,200, so it was only 300 more. And I don't really think he had a choice.
That's one of those non-tough decisions.
Yeah. Queen 9-7. Sam is not betting at it. Is he going to let sixes get to the river? And he is. This is kind of what you were talking about before, a dry side pot. A lot of times players get to realize their equity because the other players are not bluffing them out.
Right.
That's a situation where I probably would have, simply because you're up against a big blind who could have anything, and you want to put some pressure on a small pocket pair.
Shame to see Davey go, wasn't it? Because he's clearly a good player.
Yeah, he just couldn't get any chips.
Yeah.
Do you bet on anything besides the NFL?
I have very occasional bets if there's something that catches my eye where I think I have some kind of strong opinion.
Like ice hockey?
Not so much.
No.
Do you bet on ice hockey?
I do.
I'm not surprised.
I'm down about 5 units in the NFL this year, but I'm up about 11 in the NHL in hockey this year.
Okay. That's good. And
Yeah.
you won that big bet with
and I won my
Norman
Baltimore
Chad.
Orioles, yes. I had a well-publicized bet on Twitter with Norman Chad, where I bet on the Baltimore Orioles, which are a baseball team, of course, and I bet on the under. I bet on them being terrible this
Historically
year.
bad, you bet.
And they were
right?
historically bad.
And it was kind of one of those no-doubters, right? Like there wasn't even suspense. It seemed like it went your way from the start.
Well, they started the season off 4-1.
Oh, okay.
And then they
So that was
proceeded to
as-
lose like 19 of their next
That
21.
was as good as it got.
Yeah. Well, at 4-1, Norman Chad was chirping a lot. There was a lot of chirping on Twitter about how stupid I was.
Yeah,
And then-
like 5 games into a 162-game season.
And then, a month and a half later, it was over. But that was my lock of the year. And if we're doing it on a per unit basis, that particular bet represented 50 units. So it was good.
That's really good.
Yeah. I felt quite confident in that bet.
Yang facing decision with the 8s.
Yeah, and this is an interesting spot, right? I mean, it's a button all in.
And it's a lot.
It is a lot. Eights are...
It's a lot, but it's a he has a weird stack where he is going to shove a lot of times he's going to play.
I feel like nines are almost a definite call, right? I mean, I don't know. It's close, but...
Well, because he'd shove with eights. Yeah.
I know you have the ace queen, ace king, like that's two round hand.
Well, I'm just thinking of how many smaller pairs is Zohor...
If you have the ace of kings, you'll raise me.
Is he shoving here? Is he shoving 7s, 6s, 5s?
I call.
He does make the call.
Yang talked us through it. He said, if you have a big pair, you're just going to raise me. You're not going to shove all in.
That's the reason why. That's why I think like 9s and 10s are almost a snap. And I think he kind of thought this through with 8s. You know, maybe he's up against exactly 9s.
Mm-hmm.
But more often he's up against the, overcards or maybe some small things. Well, he talked himself into it, and unfortunately for him, now needs an 8. Otherwise, Zohor will double up to 88,000. 10 of spades on the river and a full double up for that man right there. The boss.
WAL.
I'm almost because you almost fold because of the 8.
That's a good example of what you were talking about before. Not with the stacks, but Yang is not someone who's going to have fear about taking decisions where he thinks, oh, I may only have a small edge.
No more Mr. Nice Guy. That's it.
He's like, I like where I am. There's a chance that you've got a smaller pair. A lot of the time you've got 2 big cards. And then no fear. He's just going through his analysis and backing his judgment.
I love the way he thought that through, I mean, and he talked us through it. If you don't think your opponent is doing that with 10s plus because he wants action, then
then it becomes a call.
Yeah, you're either dominating your opponent or to flip. And against that range, you're doing pretty well, especially when you factor in the dead money in the pot. Blind 600, 1,200 with a 1,200 at big blind ante. Hand 61. Have you been playing much lately?
No, not much. Some PLO cash. And that's about it. I don't get enough time for tournaments. That's the problem. And then the good tournaments, I commentate on. That's how I like to do it.
Well, the XL Blizzard is coming up.
It is?
Yeah, the XL Blizzard is coming up, of course. I mean, you could check out these, the Blast, of course, the sit and goes.
Yeah.
It's an exciting sit and go game where you could win big. 3 to 4 players are in for a fun surprise as they compete for a randomly drawn prize pool. Essentially, if you play in these Blast sit and goes, somebody is going to randomly win a lot of money. And the prize pool could be up to 10,000 times your buy-in.
Nice.
Could be. Sam got kings. Ace-king did not work out for him. Will the kings, though?
He makes a
desperately wants. Oh yeah.
Desperate action. Yeah. I mean, you can.
Please call me.
You can just shove, but he does have players like Yang behind him, so you can understand him trying to get action.
Oh, wait a minute. No, hold on. He's just raised my big blind.
Oh, killer, and he gets nothing. Does McIntyre just call, though? Does he flip in 1,800? No. Oh, Yang does call, though. Did you say Yang called? Or you just assumed he would?
No, I saw him flicking his chip. He flicked in
Wow.
a chip, yeah.
I think you can probably check this. King, check, jack. Check. Just check.
Yeah, yeah.
You have no chips.
And Yang is, Yang is prone to a wager.
You gotta check. You check. Well, Sam figured out a way to get value out of that one.
Finally, you hit like a monster.
Well, it all counts for him at this point.
Yeah, that was
Those chips are so valuable when you're down to, 15 big blinds.
He basically doubled up.
More than that, and he can't put the rest in. That's how bad I run. Yeah? I've got less than 14k. The man has put 7, and I can't get the rest. That's how bad I run.
He should see what his opponent had. I don't think you ran bad there. You got lucky you got any action. I love this guy's voice, though.
You're damn straight. I found a way to get. I didn't even get a double up. The man has bluffed 7K and he can't give me the rest.
He has the highest voice I've ever heard.
He's funny.
It's fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Unbelievable.
That is a bad beat. If ever I've seen that
I've
win.
checked this man has absolutely fucking bet 7K. I've not even got 14K and he can't give me the rest. Check me, they can't give me the rest.
All right, we're going to see some fireworks here. Yang limps.
Well, mate.
Right here, isn't it?
Alright? Yeah, it is. It's quite warm as well. It's the lights. We're having a lot of fun, so well done.
A limp.
We're not really playing poker.
Sam gets out of the way. Back over to Yang. And Yang moves all in. So Yang does the limp re-raise all in. What does Win do with ace-queen? This is a pretty big shove here. She's got 53,000. She is covered. So you're talking about, well over 40 big blinds.
Yeah, I can't.
Frustrating, but I think she's got to fold, right?
Yeah, I think so. She's getting no particular price.
Yeah, Yang with the tricky limp re-raise.
That's a maybe. Maybe I have an aces. That's my short trouble win. Maybe I have an ace deuce. A limp raise. Easy to fold.
Only because I see you did this against last time.
Would you have? I show, I mean, you tell me. What do you have?
You know what I mean? Like, if I had a
Tell me.
total team,
Tell me.
then maybe.
I knew it.
But I can't beat 4 cards like this hand.
I have 8 times. I learned that from you.
We've been lucky with this feature table and how chatty and entertaining it is, right? Like, way above average.
Yeah, no, this has been great.
This is like a London cash game, actually. This is what you can expect a lot of the time.
I mean, how often are people complaining to us that they wish we would stop talking so you could hear the table talk? And usually we point out people, it's a tournament, nobody's talking, but this is one of those cases where they actually are. Yang picks up ace jack. Yang just continues to change it up. Really thinks outside the box. I mean, I like his game in that regard. I mean, sometimes he does a min raise, sometimes he limps. Here he goes 4,600.
And Care's all in. This seems good to me. Don't know what you think, but Yang's playing a lot of hands, and she's got.
It's a big raise by him, though. I mean, he almost went 4x.
That's true. But you think he's never folding to her shove? I think he is folding some of the time.
Well, Kara's got live cards. She's a 3-2 dog.
Kara may die. This would be bad.
No.
Think she's good?
I think she's going to hold here.
I like your positivity.
Yeah, I think she's gonna win this.
Seems less clear now.
I'm pretty sure she's gonna win this. Okay, I'm less certain about this
I'm
now.
just checking. She is not going to win it.
She's probably not gonna win this one. Yang makes a wheel on the river. His jack was obviously good. He is back up to 88,000 chips, and the one and only Kara Scott has been eliminated. I'm sorry.
I wonder if she'll be back. She can re-enter, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there is a turbo event right now. I don't know. I know she doesn't get to play as much poker these days as she did in the past. So she might re-enter, or maybe she just saves that bullet for Madrid.
Hello.
That's right. January 23rd to February 3rd. We'll be in Spain. We'll be in Madrid. Make sure you join us. €1 million guaranteed overall there. The main event is an 888 euro buy-in event. That's another one I really want to play.
That'll be big.
Oh, it'll be huge. That one in the Barcelona. Those are they're great events. Not surprising, Yang, one of the most active players. Wynn has been very active as well. She's just picked up a ton of hands.
Some of us have got work to do, yeah? Some of us have to work for a living, yeah?
Yeah, Yang's not someone you particularly want to play against when he's got chips because, like you said, he is unpredictable. And I'm not sure he always knows what he's going to do. So, pretty tough to sort out his range and play against him.
I'm trying to think that one. I'm trying to think of the hands. Our sample size is so small, it's impossible to know, obviously. I'm trying to figure out what hands he is 4Xing from early position.
I mean, he's done everything. He's limped. You know, he's min-raised. He's now 4X, so you'd have to play with him for a decent amount of time.
He 5X'd from the button one time.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
That was the Queen 10. This one was Ace Jack. Obviously, Kara thought the 4X Open was more indicated more weakness. As a
Thanks, mate. You too. Cheers, Tony.
Sam's all in. No hesitation there, and Sam's ahead. Yang's not going to call this. Back over to McIntyre, and I don't think you can call with ace-7.
No, I don't know really why he needs a count. I mean, maybe he's thinking about it, but
it's basically for McIntyre's entire stack. McIntyre has him covered by just a little bit. I have to imagine that this is one of the worst hands Sam is doing this with.
I think that's fair.
I had a one of them.
I was alive.
Ace of spades makes ace of diamonds every day of the week. The book says.
Not if you fold, it doesn't.
Correct. Good point. Need to grow up there.
Now you both have starting stacks.
Yep.
As if you won your 1K back, and now you restart the game. Yeah, that's it. Everybody happy.
I'm not happy.
You're not happy. Okay. Give me those chips right now.
Yeah. I'll put them in the middle and you can take them from there, yeah?
Yeah? Now you're happy.
I'll put them in the middle and you can take them from there.
Yeah. Put them in the middle. I will take it like this.
So Hall's opened under the gun, and the win flats. We're going to have a multi-way pot.
Tadusha loves playing his button.
Right. Well, anything can happen.
King high flop here, no suits, king 10-3. Looks like that man in the center of your screen wearing the black hat and the glasses has flopped the best of it. James Sue. E. Possibly.
Sue brackets I, close brackets. We don't know. We'll ask him. If he goes like really deep tomorrow, we'll ask him.
I feel terrible.
Sweet. I bet it's going to be Sweet.
I always kind of
Because
wonder.
TSU is definitely Sue. So the I must do something.
It must be, right?
Yeah.
I always wonder when I'm watching poker like this, and you see somebody calling from the button with Queen 8 offsuit.
Yeah.
What's the thought process behind that?
I want to play cards.
Okay, I like it.
That's the thought process. I'm sitting here, I'm seeing 30 hands an hour, I'm playing one of these bad boys.
Fair enough.
Usually I have 6 tables. What do you want from me?
I like it. Can't argue with that logic. So Whore's going to double barrel here, and this is one of the few cards to double barrel with. I mean, if you are going to put a C-bet out there with ace-9 of diamonds, probably can't expect one bet to get through. And while this is not going to get a king to fold, it puts a lot of pressure on a 10. You know, if you got called by maybe some sort of a gut shot or something like that. And if he does get called, well, he can still catch a diamond or an ace. XL Blizzard coming soon. One of the big online series over at 888poker. Check it out. Again, the free roll has already happened today, but we will have another one tomorrow and then another one on Monday. Got a new player at the table. That is Chris Smith.
Welcome, Chris Smith.
His name might not be Chris. I have no idea. It's C. Smith.
Welcome, C. Smith.
Chester?
That seems unlikely, but would be good.
Is he Irish? That's Irish, right?
Yeah.
Clyde?
More likely to be Callum.
Callum. That's what it is. It's Callum Smith.
There you go.
I like that. Dedusha with the ace-queen. Well, if he's going to play Queen 8 offsuit, he's certainly going to play ace-queen. So Callum raised it with ace-jack. Dedusha called with ace-queen. Yang calls from the button with 9-8. Zahor says, yeah, why not?
Sick of this tight action, David. It's like watching a super high roller. One of these guys going to mix it up. It's pretty loose. Smith's got the floppy once. It's one of those things where he's obviously hit his hand and he's almost certainly in front right now, but it's like you're just sitting there thinking, how are these 18 players going to screw me in this hand? Is it the diamond? Is it a straight? What's going to happen to me?
And the unthinkable happens. He bets and everybody folds.
Yeah, that's, you know, I'm like delighted if that's me. Delighted.
It's like a unicorn.
Yeah.
You just don't see that very often at all. Take a look at a chip count here. So Whore, by the way, he was, if I remember correctly, somewhat short-stacked. He was all in with ace-king versus eights earlier on. Doubled up. Yang, by the way, still healthy, but not quite where he was just a while ago. We continue at our featured table, 8-handed. 7-handed, pardon me, as Kara Scott has not been replaced yet.
How can you replace Kara Scott?
Good point.
Thank you. $801.6 level. Day 2 it moves to our blind levels, is that correct? Yeah, that's correct. So we're 40-minute blind levels in day 1. But those of you who have watched these tournaments before, you get a lot of play. A really nice structure. You get a lot of play right to the final table. This looks like a chop pot between these two, unless somebody gives up.
Both players content to get the showdown, it looks like. Chop it up like kissing your sister. Do you have a sister?
2.
No. See?
No. I don't think I do see. What on earth are you saying?
I don't know. Just saying. I'm just out there.
Saying words.
Just saying words.
That's
that come
like your
together.
autobiography title. Just
Say-
out here saying words.
It's good. Can I use that?
Yeah.
888 Live, we're in London. The main event running from November 30th through December 2nd.
Got the absolute lot, and he
Of
wants
course, the 888 Poker Festival has been here for about a week already.
I did at least minimum 3 double ups for today, so I can come back tomorrow. Good luck, eh?
Unfortunately, no more Kara Scott at this table.
She did.
But Sam's still here.
And that's good for our entertainment dollar. Which you
Yeah.
have not paid. Complimentary. Free stream.
Yeah, whether you're being entertained at home or not, that's neither here nor there. Nick and I are being entertained by Sam.
That's right.
I noticed. I noticed.
Everyone's after it.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Good luck. That's all I can say. GL.
Fours are cheap, 7-4-4, 2 clubs out there. Looks like ace high is still the best hand.
I just quickly messaged with Kara and she was saying how she enjoyed playing at this table. It's like a really friendly atmosphere.
Is she re-entering or no?
She might be playing day 2, yeah.
Okay.
So you can re-enter.
Can you buy in day 2?
You can buy in, I think.
Oh, okay.
Maybe up to the first break or something.
These are things we should probably know, right?
David, it's a moving buffet of information. We can't be expected to chomp across it all. Yeah, we should know that, yeah.
I mean, I know there's a turbo event going on right now. I know there's
You're right about that.
I know there's not a turbo event going on tomorrow. So I know just day 2 starts tomorrow. That much I do know. I know we'll be in Madrid in about 2 months' time.
You know this to be true.
I know that much. I know there's a brand new monthly high roller tournament. And I know the next one is on December 22nd. I know they're calling it the Dragon. Dedusha raising it up with Queen 10. McIntyre, who was down to about 2 big blinds, has done a great job to chip up a little bit. And he's got a pair of aces here. Neither player with a spade in their hand. Spades are irrelevant. Pot is 8,800. Check, check once again. And just like that, Dedusha now with the best of it. How's your ace-4 feel right about now?
Time to bet it, says McIntyre. That's how my ace-4 feels. Deal with that.
It's got about 2,800. Probably not a ton of value in raising this. What do you think?
Yeah, I think just cool.
He raises.
He raises.
I just don't know if you can get called by worse.
Well, it's just, can you get called by 2 pair is a question. Don't know.
The terminal. How's that one?
Multi-flights, I see what they've done there. Multi-flight series.
Yeah, it's
Because
888 Poker's first one.
No, but you get it, because terminal's where lots of flights go from. So that's, they've put,
I get it.
yeah, just checking.
I understood this.
Yeah,
This one
checking.
I understood. The nothing going on but the rent.
That
I still
one.
don't get that.
No, but that's fine, because I didn't understand that, so that's fine.
What?
No, I'm just checking you got the terminal.
The terminal I get. It is 888 Poker's first multi-flight tournament series, running from December 15th through December 23rd of this year. So that's just 2 short weeks away.
Nice. So multi-flight means that you're going to have more than one chance to enter, obviously.
Right.
Yeah. We think. Or maybe just like win lots of plane flights. Could be either at the moment.
Right. Well, hold on. I have a bevy of information about this right here.
Just combing through that.
Nick, I think you are correct.
Okay, good.
Pair of aces here for McIntyre.
It's been a weird sort of half an hour of action in that there hasn't been much. Quite a lot of small pots. We were spoiled in the first 2 hours, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think a little bit of Yang being chopped in half.
Yes, that's very true.
And he was kind of one of the players who was pushing the
And
action.
he was in a lot of pots, yeah, you're right.
We've had a few new players as well. You know, the dynamic at the table has changed just a little bit as we've had 3 or 4 players eliminated and replaced with new faces and new names.
That's one of the things about tournament poker, which is definitely true. The table dynamic changes a lot in a session.
Wins all in.
All
And
in
it-
for
What is that? 30, 26
just,
big
just under
blinds?
30, yeah.
27. McIntyre with 8s in the button here. And it kind of goes back to what you were saying. You had mentioned earlier, one of the most important things as a poker player is understanding what your image is and, you know, making the correct adjustments to exploit that.
And also your image with individual players.
Yeah. You know, I've actually had people say this to me where they've asked, they go, well, is it worth it to kind of like, you know, make a splashy bluff early on in the tournament so I can get action later on? And I go, well, how do you know that table's going to stay together?
Yeah, that's true.
I go, you could develop this amazing image where you can get paid off and then it's all new players.
Yeah.
I go, that's just, you know. There's obviously other issues with that strategy, I believe, but
I think
that's
like,
the first one.
Yeah, I think there's some value in if you make a bluff. I don't think there's much value in making a bluff just to make a bluff, but there's definitely some value in showing a bluff once you've made it early on. Especially if you're like me and like no one thinks you're bluffing ever.
My theory is kind of simple. I feel like if you're bluffing as often as you should be bluffing,
Yeah.
you will get caught.
Yeah. So just do your thing and
Yeah. So after 3-betting all in, Win picks up queens.
yeah, and just makes a more sober 3-bet. Although she's obviously got a little deeper stack. I think she's just going to win the pot here.
Yeah, Jason Sui has shown that he is less likely to call these 3-bets. He He has no problem folding.
Yeah, he seems like quite a good solid player to me.
And sure enough.
Went on the comeback trail. She had a really kind of horrible hour, didn't she, where many things didn't go her way, and now she's right back up to operational, levels.
And that was even with the great call with the ace-king. She had no pair and called the turn and the river.
Oh, yeah.
She won that pot, but lost with sevens twice.
And now nines. 3 good hands in a row.
The Dusha. He likes playing his button.
What's your note on him? Likes playing his button. True to form.
John Sue makes the call out of the big blind. Well, if you are going to defend your button with 6-4, this is not a bad flop for you. Well, no reason to do anything but call. And he does make the call. So many ways for Dusha to win this hand. Obviously, your opponent can check and you can take it away. And heart can come off and you can bluff. Or you could just hit your straight. I'd like to see him bet the turn here when she checks.
That's definitely a non-amazing card, isn't it, for nines?
And if you are going to call pre-flop with hands like 6-4 offsuit, you're going to have to occasionally win the pot without making the best hand. Otherwise, you'll just be hemorrhaging chips. And Dusha does just that.
That's why you play your button, I guess.
Let's write that down. Never fold button.
Never fold button. Nunes complaining that he played it in the first place.
But did he show the 6-4 or just the 6?
Yeah, he showed the 6-4.
Wow.
Because she said, 6-4, you played 6-4.
I don't think yet he is. I had the nuts. The draw reach onto the nuts.
You had an ace in top stack. How you fold on the turn?
She's a nick. What, you didn't know she was a nick?
Mitsikoridis, I'm going to say. Mitsikoridis from Cyprus. New player to us with a metric ton of chips, David Tuckman.
Hey, he's got a lot of chips there, 176,000.
That's a lot of chips.
Say he was Greek.
So he was Cypriot.
Cypriot, okay.
From the flag, I mean.
9 high flop.
He can check or bet here. Up to him. Free choice.
That's how it works, right?
Yeah. It's a game of decisions, David Tuckman.
He is sitting in the seat Kara Scott left vacant. When he does decide to bet, Zahor quickly folds. It's that beautiful picture in the background there, the Casino Grand Via. That's right, we'll be in Madrid But before that, on December 22nd, we have the Dragon, the new 888 Poker High Roller Tournament. You can qualify for that for just 50 cents over on 888 Poker.
Qualify for a big high roller online. Qualify for a big tournament live. You've got to get involved in qualifying, people. Turn a little into a lot.
I really feel like I'm doing myself a disservice by living in the States.
That's definitely
I don't-
poker wise. That's
I don't get
definitely
access
true.
to any of this stuff.
No.
It's terrible.
No. I mean, you only invented the game and popularized the game. Why should you be allowed to play it?
Well, Yang's been really quiet as of late.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he's one of those players that's never going to be quiet for long, you know?
Wonder if he kind of feels like, yeah, he's like, you know what, I haven't played a hand in 2 orbits. I built up some equity. I'm going to 3-bet here.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah, he is not one of those guys who is just going to, like, fade away into the quiet
Right.
night.
Yeah. Like, blind out down to like 7 big blinds
Yeah.
and then shove. No, that's not going to be happening.
And my guess is because of that, he probably doesn't cash as much as some of the real, you know, tight players out there.
Yeah.
But my guess is that Yang probably makes deeper runs. Did we find anything on him, by the way?
No, I couldn't.
Nothing.
No. I mean, there's a lot of Yangs in the database, but I couldn't find his picture or anything. Get our research team onto that, would you, David?
Every time I lose this,
Dadusha is
that's what my
flat calling ace king suited.
That's exactly what he's doing.
Okay. Fair enough. He's mixing it up. Zahor might maybe stealing here. Yeah, he is. He's going squeeze from the button. No, he's calling. Oh, okay. Okay, that makes no sense. I thought, I mean, in fairness to me, the only thing I could rationalize there was, okay, well, he's definitely, he's like, he thinks he's seen something. He thinks this is a good time to put the pressure on.
I thought it meant you were online.
I think they might have a prop game going that we don't know about, which is
Right.
a must-player button.
Yeah, maybe they do.
maybe I should have.
Well, you must play names that hands that have a name.
Yeah, that's a Doyle Brunson, of course. Queen 7-5, winning the big blind, has a gut shot. McIntyre, the original raiser, somehow has the best hand here.
He does. I think this is the first time I've ever been cold in this casino. I'm usually like hot.
It's a little chilly.
Cold, yeah.
There's a breeze.
Yeah, like an air-conditioned breeze.
Keep the Dusha credit, by the way. A lot of players will, you know, if they decide to flat with the ace-king.
No, you're talking about the wrong decision here.
Yeah, so I was talking about the Dusha here for folding the ace-king. A lot of players will kind of compound the error and then not fold, even
Yeah.
when they miss. I don't know what Zahor's doing.
Zahor's just decided he's going to win this pot. Like, clearly, he's just sat there going, this is my pot. I don't care. I don't care what cards I have. I don't care what comes on the board. I'm winning this bad boy.
And he might, by the way.
I don't understand why McIntyre's checked there, because he's only got 19k. Just put it in, because why are you letting a card roll off? I suppose he's worried about the flush, but he can't fold anyway.
Is he going to fold? Right.
I mean, he's, you know...
I imagine. I mean, if you're
he's
going,
good, but
if you're going to play it
good
this way,
here.
do you check one more time?
Queen, you
Yeah.
win, I've got 10.
I suppose, yeah. Zahor called and didn't bluff. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. What's going on?
We had tens.
He had what?
He had tens.
Oh, okay, fine. So it's all, everything we said is wrong.
So he didn't have 10 deuce. He had 2-10,
How
which
it-
is 2 tens.
How is that possible?
I don't know. Clearly, the card was, you know, we use an RFID technology,
Yeah.
and clearly that card was either defective
Yeah.
or the
Red.
card was registered wrong.
Yeah. That makes more sense.
Well, the other one made no sense.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Apologise for besmirching your play there.
well, he's probably watching it going, I didn't have 10 deuce.
Yeah. Well,
What
think
or-
I am a crazy person?
Well, the funny thing is he could be sitting at home going, I don't remember this hand.
yeah.
Why did I do this?
Am I zoning out during poker tournaments?
Yeah, what am I doing here? There's a bevy of reasons why a card could be wrong. I don't know specifically why that one was, but clearly he actually showed 2 10s. Which is the only reason we knew. Jack 10, 8, 2 spades out there. And our friend from Cyprus outflops his opponent, but McIntyre catches him and passes him on the turn. And nobody puts any chips in the pot at all.
McIntyre just seems to like to check when he hits a hand. I mean, my note on him would be trappy player. You know what I mean? He likes to slow play.
Yeah, I mean, the funny thing is, if he actually were to bet flop, turn, and river, I would just assume he was bluffing.
Right. Yeah. Having seen what we've seen.
And he's going to get some action here. Although, is that a raise? Now, this is pretty sexy.
Very creative. I mean,
I think he suddenly realizes he went from I have some showdown value to, okay, my opponent has me beat but doesn't love his hand. Can I get him to fold an ace?
the only problem is he's getting 3-1 on a call here.
I think the instincts were spot on by
Yeah.
Cordes.
I think you're right.
If he makes that more like 19,500, 21,000, puts a lot of pressure on McIntyre. And look at McIntyre, by the way. McIntyre was down to 2 big blinds. He is now up to nearly 70K.
2,500 chips.
And look at them, they're all commenting about it. He now has 42 bigs.
Amazing. An amazing offer, and it happens. And hopefully, when we see this on stream, it'll help players understand that you can't just throw your last few chips in. Doesn't matter how annoyed you are that you've lost a pot or a flip or something. You should still think about when you put those last few chips in.
I mean, the funny thing is McIntyre did just that. He just put his chips in, but, you know, he had to get lucky. And
Don't step on my point.
Sorry,
I'm making a
sorry.
very important learning
Your point. It's a
very
great,
good learning point.
I'll shut up. I'm sorry. I
And you're
apologize.
coming in and you're saying, no, Nick, just chuck them in and hope you get lucky, and then you'll come back. Unbelievable.
I know. I'm sorry. Your point is well said. Truth be told, I'm an ass.
No, come on. I won't have that. No matter how many times I hear it from so many people, I just don't think it's true.
Yang raises to 5K. Callum Smith. Callum Smith, by the way, is no longer from Ireland.
Oh. Well, we haven't had much of... we haven't had any big confrontations for a while, but this could be interesting.
Yeah, it looks like we will get one here, although...
What do you do here with the jacks?
Yeah.
Smith's got 60,000, so he started the hand with about 40 big blinds.
I mean, if you 4-bet and you get it in, you don't love it, do you? It's jacks, I know that.
I never super love it with
Right.
with jacks in a live tournament because people don't Love getting lots of chips in the middle pre-flop.
Right, you're like, okay, cool. I'm up against queens plus and like ace king suited, ace king.
This is the spot with jacks, I think, where everything feels wrong.
I might
I
just,
mean, like,
might just
whatever you
flat
do
this.
feels wrong. Even though you flat it and you fold to a
No,
continuation
it's all
bet
terrible.
with an overcard, it's all terrible here.
Yeah, everything's awful.
He does 4-bet, so he's committed, obviously.
Yep. That'll get rid of Yang in all
Uh,
likelihood.
And that can't be wrong, like, unless you believe... If that's wrong, you're arguing that Smith is only 3-betting queens, kings, and
Oh,
aces.
hello.
Oh, this is a bad bit of timing from Yang.
And Callum is just, well, I got kings. I'm not going to fold these, am I?
Wait, I don't understand this at all. Is the 4-bet really to 37 if we got that right? Because Yang's shove makes no sense. He's got no fold equity.
Unless the deuces are actually tens.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Unless the registration is wrong and maybe it's still...
Okay, let's see.
we'll find out because the cards are going to go in their back.
I mean, this is a dream for Smith. You can't think about it. If you've run into aces, you've run into aces, but you're not deep enough.
But the thing is, though...
He's not deep enough not to...
No, I think so, too. I agree. But to your point, though, when Mitzi Cordis makes it 37,000 and Yang moves all in, Yang can't be bluffing, right?
You would think. I mean, he must have tens. Like, doing this with deuces is just weird. Now, Mitzi Cordis can't really fold.
No, he
because,
can't. He can't. Not with his stack.
What if
he can afford the chips. It's only 38,000 to call.
But also, it's just the price.
No,
There's
he's
so
getting
much
6 to
money.
1.
And like, if they both turn over ace king and you folded, you go and
And it's
throw
not even
yourself.
for his tournament.
You go and throw yourself. He folded. I don't think you can fold.
What is going on here?
I want you hand up.
No, he has deuces.
Yeah, I beat you.
Am I taking crazy pills? What is going on here?
We're gonna see it anyway. What
I don't understand.
Anything in his hands?
Yeah.
I don't. Nothing.
Smith's play. I understand Smith's play.
Okay, fine.
You get kings and like you raise, and then the action gets back to you, and there's a billion chips in, so you put your money in. So Smith's play, I understand. Everyone else, I don't understand.
Well, we said Yang is the kind of guy who's going to get chips or he's going to be out. He's not going to sit here and fade away.
So the dynamics of his play, Yang, he's like opened. He's 3-bet. If you make the stacks completely different, it's not totally insane, because what he's saying is, I can make you fold because I'm repping a huge hand.
Well, and frankly, let's say if Callum Smith does not have an enormous hand there, and Yang has way, way, way more chips,
Yeah.
Yang's play works.
Yeah, but he raised like 30k more than the 4-bet, so it was madness.
I mean, there's no way Yang's shove was getting through both players with that size.
With that stack, no. It was really strange.
I don't care, mate. I've got kings. If you've got aces, good luck to you, mate. GG. I've still got 2 hours.
And to our chip leaders, the Greek guy, what's his name again? Cypricordius? Cordius?
I can't say it without it being on screen. It's Mitsikouridis.
There you go. Give him credit for folding. I think he was getting too good a price, though.
We can't give him credit and say he was getting too good a price. Are you giving
Well,
him
I mean,
credit or are you giving him debit?
No,
Is
I'm
it a
giving
good
him
fold
credit.
or a bad fold?
I'm
Get
giving-
off the fence, Tuckman.
I'm giving him credit for somehow figuring out a way to save himself 38,000 chips.
So you're just playing results.
I am. I'll give him credit results oriented.
You're just playing results? I am, yes.
I think it's a terrible fold. I
think it's really...
He's getting 6 to 1.
Yeah, and also he's...
Your opponents could actually have tens and ace king suited,
Absolutely.
or ace king and ace king.
If they both... I said, if they both turn over ace king, you're throwing yourself off the Asper's roof.
And the funny thing is, even if you knew your opponent actually had kings,
Yeah, it'd be close.
you're almost getting the right price then anyway.
Yeah, it would be close, actually. And also, you can't... He made it 37k, and they've both got about 70k in their stack. So you can't be 4-betting to fold there anyway. Once you've 4-betted, the decision is when the action gets to you. Once you 4-bet, you're committed. You don't actually have to think.
Right.
If somebody shoves, you should have already done that thinking. You just fold. Sorry, Jesus. You just call.
you just
Sorry,
call, right.
I misspoke. Yeah, you just
Right.
call.
I mean, the reason you're 4-betting and not just shoving all in is because theoretically it looks stronger, I guess. He could have just 4-bet all in.
Yeah, and actually possibly should, because he decreases the chances of... well, it doesn't make any difference, does it?
Right. It looks like a call. It looks like he's never folding, ever.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing he folded there. So much money in the middle.
Nonetheless, though, he was there. Yang, by the way, was not all in, as you can see. He is all in now. Sam, a 2-1 favorite to eliminate him. Queen high flop. Ace high still the best hand here. Another player with a heart. Yang looking for a king or a 6. The jack of spades on the river. And Yang is out.
I never quite understand. I mean, he played well for the most part, and like a dangerous player and aggressive player. And then the twos is just a blow up. I don't understand.
888 boss.
The only thing I can think.
Okay, guys, whatever happens, I'm all in.
The only thing I can think is, and I'll give Phil Locke credit for this, is upstuck.
Yeah.
Phil Locke coined upstuck, basically meaning when you are up a ton, but you lose some of that.
Like he lost half of what he had at his peak,
Right.
I think.
But he's still doing well.
Yeah.
You know, you feel like you're suddenly down, and you suddenly start grasping at trying to get it back. You want to get back where you were. You want to get back to your peak. That's the only thing I can think of. See, he kind of got himself on mini tilt. I am standing up here because I'm just beside myself. We just watched the hand where, in all my years of poker, I'm just going, I don't understand what I saw.
I mean, if you're Smith, you're like, I
Cool.
love this game.
Yeah.
I love poker.
I mean, not only that, not only did he get a full double up,
Jamming with ace king or something.
not only did he got more than a full double
More,
up.
yeah, much more. Yeah, with the blinds and antes and everything else, like, he'd be close to a triple up.
Right. I mean, he's supposed to double up there more often than not. I mean, it's supposed to go kings, raise, 3-bet, 4-bet, fold, shove, call.
Yeah. And then 80% of the time he doubles up. Oh, yeah.
Just unbelievable. Dedusha with the straight here.
But not much action.
No, Mackie McIntyre.
Show me.
Gonna give that one up.
Show me. It was the last time.
So Yang's ride is over.
A little bit patience. We're going to remove the hand.
We don't have any details on the prize pool just yet, as registration is not closed. There's a turbo event going on right now. And of course, the XL Blizzard coming soon on 888 Poker.
I think we're done.
That's it?
Yeah, that's it.
I want more.
Pocus Interruptus.
I'm not done.
You are done. Sit down,
I'm-
be quiet, in your hotel room, get a good night's sleep.
I'm just warming up, though.
I can see that.
I feel like
Telling you, Pocus Interruptus. That's what you're suffering from.
I feel like an F1 driver or like a NASCAR driver who's just did a warm-up lap. And like my tires are warm. The track is hot. I'm ready to go.
You're sitting too close to me for me to hear about your warm parts. I don't want to know, David.
That was an entertaining. I mean,
fun.
albeit very short, but entertaining day one of action.
It was lovely.
Yeah,
Can't wait for more. You really can't wait for more.
I'm geared up. I'm ready to go.
You're going to walk out there and start
I
commentating.
wanna- Ah!
You're going to go and commentate on a cash game, aren't you? Whether they like it or
I'm
not.
just gonna stand right behind them. And be like,
Shut up, strange American man, talking over our game.
That happens all the time.
It does.
Anyway, thanks so much for joining us. We are back at it tomorrow. The players are coming back at 2:00. We are going to skip the first 3 levels, but then we'll come back after their first break. It'll be approximately 5 p.m. local time here in London. We do have another free roll tomorrow. Make sure you join us there for the password. And, of course, we will get Nick Wealthall's NFL picks.
Wow.
Yeah.
Added value. You'll know what to avoid.
Added value here on the 888 live stream. Thanks for joining us. For everybody here at 888 Poker, we'll see you tomorrow.